What up? We're about to start in a few minutes. How's it going, folks? Oh, dude, make sure to get them treated. Once they get fleas, it's such a pain to get off. I have a bit of all over by mosquitoes in this house. This could actually still be worth something. I know it's rigged. A little bit of scuba tape. Oh. Alright, that's there. That's there. Oh, we need this. Today because alright, I think we're good to get started. Oh, hun. One last thing. Can you open that window? Without Oreo dashing out. Although I think he's pretty much dead at the moment, sleeping. Hopefully I can't hear the fan. Nah, it's not coming through. Hello, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Gone is the Gears of War, and we are welcomed with the background of Dawn Trail. Yes, the mighty Dawn Trail, which is having a bit of a, how can I say, back and forth feedback at the moment. Oh, gaming, you sent me something on X? Oh, don't break now. What did you send me on X? What's this all about? They play games, not sales numbers? Of course they play sales numbers. That's all they play. Ah, it's a sock account. You can't really take these ones seriously. A socky is a socky. How's everyone doing today? Wayne's World, you're in the UK? What a surprise! Me too! Suzado, that sounds like a PSP error. There's no video sound. It should just be me. I did hear the news about Halo 7, about the old Halo vet coming along to work on the game, honestly, it means absolutely nothing. At least to me. To me, that means absolutely nothing. Because we've seen how the greats completely and utterly buried Halo. We've seen how the all time vets buried Halo. They just couldn't come up with a good idea. And so Microsoft cleaned house and brought in fresh blood. So let's see what they're going to do with that in mind. I'm very skeptical with Halo. They need to get it right. And I know going back to, say, Reach is probably their best. If they can recreate that, that would be amazing. But it's all a matter of, can they recreate that Reach? Okay, no, these glasses are too no good. If they can recreate that Reach moment, they're on to a winner. At the moment, I'm skeptical. Do you think another Arkham game on home consoles ever? I think they will. I think they will. Not this generation, though. This generation of consoles has been really weird for a number of reasons. I know a lot of people are saying that this generation is great, but it is it? I think it's been lukewarm personally. Or maybe I'm just getting older. Gears E Day will be a launch title for the next Xbox 2026. There's literally no reason for them to push that out by the end of the generation for Series X. That would just be silly. Yeah, I cut the audio out because the music out because the music kind of interferes with the, I don't know why, but it's interfering with the internet when I play it. It causes problems like we saw last time. I'm hoping this is better and you're having, audio is better, connection's better. My internet's been really good for the past few days, so good stuff. Plus, it did withstand my 50-hour stream over 3 days, so that was good too. Thank you to those that turned up. It was a roller coaster of a ride of emotions and sometimes boredom and sometimes high jubilation and sometimes of extreme excitement. You kind of had a bit of everything. Ah, Susano, the life of a developer. Don't you love it? Well, I'm an omni gamer. I play everything. I've got everything, and honestly, it's been pretty middle round so far. There's been a few highlights here and there, but I've not had that excitement that I had in the previous gens. I want to go back to those. I just watched the breakdown trailer for Fable, and I am ridiculous. Fable looks really good, and honestly, we see a lot of people talking about the character. I'm really not fussed. Don't really care. It is what it is, and you know, I'm just not bothered by it. If you're really interested in, really hot women, go play a gotcha game. It's literally what they are designed to give you. You'll literally be in heaven. Just, I mean, the one I'm playing, just go watch the 4.2 trailer, and yeah, Limey Mc... Well, how's it going, Drogdo? So, let's look at some news, shall we? Let's look at some news. I know, right, Zrog? It's literally a whole patch based on that. That whole patch 4.2, which is the filler, is literally based on that. Yeah, no, the original one that they had, there was that one screenshot of her that people really, man, that bite is really nasty. But there was that one frame that they grabbed that made her look I'm gonna say hideous, and that's what they were all going off and looking at, and it was stupid. But that is the way of the internet. They're gonna catch the worst possible picture and go with it. Well, I am still feeling Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Tuesday, and I am still feeling Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. So Sega has announced that they have lost 6.6 billion yen this year, which roughly equates to about 41 million, I think it is. If someone's going to do the math, well, the conversion, I think I saw it as 41 million. Could be wrong. Although this dude thinks it has something to do with Game Pass, it's got nothing to do with Game Pass. They've lost 6.6 billion yen, and it's a lot of money. And as you can see here, Sega sees net loss of 6.6 billion yen due to business restructuring in Europe and cancelled games. Now, this is a big deal because they did actually cancel a number of games, including Arenas. I think it was called Arenas, that looter shooter Apex style game that they were hoping was going to take the world by storm. They pretty much built it, finished it, and then scrapped it. And that's a lot of work that went into that game, and they scrapped it. So that's a huge deficit of their revenue, and obviously with the restructuring, with people being laid off, paid severance pay and whatnot, it's going to hit them rather hard. So although it looks quite heavy, these were stuff that they actually took into consideration, but they might now be more amenable, if not for a merger, to a full-on partnership with Microsoft. What's your thoughts on Sega and Microsoft joining forces? They've been pretty good buddies up until now, and I would really, really love. Let me see if I can find it. I know this is like me doing this on the spot now, but I did see this somewhere. Uh, where is it? Maybe we'll find it. Maybe we'll. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So while the West could have their, you know, Microsoft Xbox, the East could have their Dreambox powered by Xbox. I would totally import one. I don't care. I would. I totally would import one. Just to see that Dreamcast logo again. Rugdale, like I said, it's something we do every 2 years with a friend of mine. And we sit down for 3 days and we just smash out the expansion so we don't get spoiled. So by the time the game actually comes out for everyone else, we're done. So when people are talking about it, then we could just calmly talk about it without fear of being spoiled. I won't spoil it for anyone, but you know, when people tell me they're at this point now, I know where they are, and I won't ruin anything, but at least I won't get anything ruined for me. Around 38 million, right? I think I read on the website it's 41 million. Still a lot of money, but I could definitely see this working. And if they decide to go down the handheld route, which obviously they are, but in the Far East they can brand out blue as well. I think it could work. I think it can really work. But whether or not Microsoft choose to tackle this is going to be interesting. At the moment, they can't do squat because of the FTC case going on. But once that's over, I can see them totally moving in and looking for something else. And though people are saying, "Oh, the regulators are going to be all over them," not for this one. This is too small. Now, if they went for like an EA or a Ubisoft, then the regulators will be all over them. But something like a Sega, no, it's too small. Yeah, man. I've done it since Heaven's Ward because when I first started playing Final Fantasy 14, I actually, the guy that I'm doing this thing with, I recruited him during the raid tiers, and we've been friends ever since, over 8 years. So good stuff. People say they want Fable to look like the character in Rings of Power, but those people are delusional because the Rings of Power characters looks like an that's on purpose to get men to love. Well, yeah, obviously. Why do you think Eve looks the way she does? you know, Eve doesn't just look like that. So, you know, for the sake of it, she looks like that so people can go for the sex appeal and buy it. Exactly, Susanna. I mean, I'm surprised it's that much. I heard it was a lot less. I mean, not heard. I mean, when I looked into it like a year ago, I think it was like 3 billion that they were worth. So that's nothing compared to a 70 billion buyout. It's just not going to be under the same scrutiny as a 70 billion one. No, they haven't withdrawn. I know the fake information that's going around saying that they withdrew, but they did not withdraw. So James Weingarten has stepped away from the case, and he's no longer the lead lawyer. That's or the lead attorney, I should say. I think that's the legal term in the US. But he's no longer the legal attorney that's basically spearheading this, which means either he's I haven't checked his LinkedIn, but he's either left the FTC or he's moving to different things that actually matter. Because this one's a waste of his career and a waste of his time. Because even he knows that they're not going to win. This is all a delay tactic. But with the Starbucks case that came along, which Microsoft used, the FTC countered it, and the judge got really annoyed with the FTC and asked the FTC to sit down with Microsoft and come to an agreement because he was getting annoyed with the back and forth with this when there's no resolution, and there needs to be a resolution. But even if that gets thrown out, there's still the Ninth District Court that needs to happen in September, I think. So there's that as well that needs to finish. But I think before the end of the year, this whole thing will be over. And then Microsoft will be free to do what they want. Because at the moment, really, the FTC has no grounds. Microsoft is giving so much away to other platforms. The whole argument of the FTC was, well, they're going to foreclose games, and they're doing the complete opposite. And maybe this is why they're giving out Doom and the games like other games for that reason. We don't know. We don't. No one knows what's happening within headquarters or what the ultimate plan is. And they've been very, very vague in their responses. They've been very kind of discreet in their responses. They've never been absolute in their responses. We're talking about a $3 trillion company. They know how to do business. They know how to make money. And honestly, they don't come across, you don't get to where you are by being indecisive. So clearly, all of this is calculated. Turning around and saying nothing is off the table, this and that, it's all to play their hands and cards towards the FTC to just get this case over with. Once it's over, then I expect you to see the real Microsoft. Then I expect you to see the real Fangs coming out. And I assume that's when we're really going to see the ABK games coming over to the back catalog to Game Pass. Hey, Rabbi, how's it going? I'm good, thank you. I'm just really tired. Really, really tired. Work decided to find the perfect time to actually get busy, which is weird. But yeah, I'm really tired. I'm still recovering from, well, 50 hours of gaming in 72 hours. I'm not used to it. What can I say? But it was great fun, and I'll do it again in 2 years' time if my body can take it. Yeah, Xbox is down? That's if the FTC don't back down. Well, they can't do anything else. So they appealed on the whole preliminary injunction not being granted being a false decision. So this whole thing is about them getting the preliminary injunction reinstated, and they're also seeking greater power with the preliminary injunctions. They want to be able to basically have a Minority Report situation. Has anyone here seen the Minority Report movie before I go into that analogy? Before I move on from the whole FTC saga? What Microsoft problem is there? What Microsoft problem, Rebby? So the FTC essentially want to be in a position where they can basically have the Minority Report. They will look at the situation, and if there is a possibility of that company doing something negative, they should have the full power to veto. Even if they're not going to do it, even if there is no evidence that they will do it, even if there's like a 0.000000001% chance that they will do it, is irrelevant. The fact that that 0.00001% chance exists, they want to have the power to block it, end of story, without having to go to court. They want to be the superpower. And that is their counterclaim on top of the whole thing, which is not going to be accepted, obviously, because that's ludicrous. So that's going to get thrown out. And the preliminary injunction is, you know, it hasn't been rejected in God knows how many years. It's not going to get reversed. They're not going to turn around and ruin Judge Corley's legacy. This was pretty much a career defining case for her. Um, they're not going to do that to a fellow judge. So the whole thing's going to get thrown out and it's going to go away. But it really just depends on how quick it will be. I think by September, before the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 drop, I think it could be over. Oh, Xbox Live is down. Honestly, I wasn't even aware. Like I said, I've been really busy this week. It should be up soon. Microsoft are generally very, very good with how fast they get stuff up. Usually it's down for a few hours at most. That's the one. Pre-crime. Yeah, Ravi. It should be back up soon. I can't imagine it being too long. I mean, it depends. They could have went and blown up you know, the facility that holds up the thing. We'll have to wait and see until they give us some information. Is there anything from Xbox Help at the moment? But I think the Sega merger, I mean, we're hearing more and more at the moment. I think it could definitely happen. I think it can definitely happen. And if it does, this is me personally. If Microsoft does end up picking up Sega, I think their games should remain multiplat and just be day one on Game Pass. That way, you're getting more value added to your Game Pass. They're keeping the price down of Game Pass because they're still keeping those games multiplat. So I think that's the way to do it. We're aware that some users have been disconnected from Xbox Live. We're investigating. Please follow here for more status. Let's see. You don't need me to log in, right? Because I'm not going to put in my 75 or 80 character login. Nope. I ain't logging in. I cannot be bothered to put 80 characters, 90 characters in. Yeah, Mike, people have been trying to hack my Xbox account for a long time now. I'm getting blocked and locked out every other day. They will not stop. Well, you could go and talk about it with Dr. Disrespect, right? Right? Too soon? Too soon, chat? Nah, it's not going to take long. It'll be done by then. It happens. Networks can go down. It happens. Accounts and profiles aren't working at the moment. It's a major outage. It was reported at 7 o'clock. It's been 1 hour. The resolution is pending. You may not be able to sign into Xbox profile, may be disconnected while signed in, or have other related features. I mean, it's literally been an hour since this. Well, an hour and a half since it's gone down. So give it some time. I think within a couple of hours it should be back up. I mean, Rabbit, it could be due to any reason whatsoever. Like, there could have been a short on servers, there could have been a power outage. Uh, I mean, it could be as simply as where the servers are that manage everything. It the switch flipped off, and there's no one there to flip it back on. So you someone has to drive out there just to flip the switch back on and set everything on. It could literally be anything. So we'll find out soon enough. Yes, man, it's just I mean, that wouldn't make a difference, as I know you can't save. You can't save, right? So, well, actually, you should be able to. But can you log in with your profile at all, or is it just Xbox Live that's down? Because if you can log in with your profile, then you can play. Even games that are on your hard drive, you can play. Ventura, what do you think of First Descent? We're gonna get to that in a little bit because that's a story for. There's a little story on that one. You know what? We might be able to go to that now. In fact, let me see if I can find it. But hey, I ended up finding this really fun game that I bought for my kid for his birthday. Absolutely loves it. What I didn't realize when I saw this, because it's just called Fantasy Reverie Series, it actually has Klonoa 1 and 2 on there. Good shit. Good shit. Robbie, you're just going to have to wait like the rest of us. I thought it was pretty good. I don't play a lot of loot shooters, but this one was fun. Well, there's a bit of controversy going on with it at the moment, isn't there? Because of this raunchy skin that seems to have outdone Stellar Blade, right? So this skin over here seems to be the one that's doing the rounds at the moment, and people are very, let's just say they've been very eclipsed by the whole thing and very interested because, as you can see, they didn't hold anything back. There's a lot of protection on this armor, is all I'm going to say. This armor has a lot of protection. If you're going to protect something, this is the sort of armor you go into battle with. Do you know what I mean? This is the sort of thing you're going to battle with, and wait, what's this all about? Charlie, what did I say? I'm not in the US. I'm in the good old UK. Well, you'll be pleased to know that that outfit is $100. It's $100. You guys still like? You still like for $100? It's an Ultimate Bunny bundle. So that's not just a skin, by the way. It's an Ultimate Bunny. So I think it's a different version of the character. Think of it like Warframe. You know how Warframe has the standard frames, and then you've got the prime frames, the ones that are upgraded and have more skills and stuff. You can probably earn it in game as well. When I was playing the alpha and the beta, there was a way to earn everything in game. So I'm not sure if you can earn it or not. So that's something I'll probably have to have a look at and see. I don't know. That's all I got. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. I did not get a message from Microsoft. Now they said I think I got a message. Let me just open the Xbox app. Well, there's one notification. Starfield has updated. Okay, thank you. Show unread only. No, 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 no. Don't boot up Starfield. It went to boot up Starfield. Go away. But yeah, so I think that this merger is probably going to happen. There's enough talk about it. I think this is a really, really, really big possibility. With the whole PSO2 partnership, whole Sega partnership, and the fact that I think Sega pretty much use the Azure clouds as part of their agreement for free, I think it is, or for a very nominal sum, for their super quadruple A game that they're making at the moment that no one knows anything about. That's going to be fully utilizing the cloud. I can see this merger happening sooner rather than later. For sure, dude. It's something I want to cover on over at my other channel. Um, so hopefully there's enough content there to cover. I know I'm a bit late already, but we'll see how it goes. That would be cool. And I remember a friend of mine. He's infatuated with cows. He even calls himself Mad Cow. And there was a Warframe that looked like a cow. He spent 85 quid. Didn't really understand how the mechanics of Warframe works, where you have to kind of level them up, reset them, you know, open up more slots and more symbols so you can get more on there. Now, he didn't understand any of that. He thought he was getting everything in one go. Spent like almost £100 on everything, went out, got killed almost instantly, uninstalled the game, and never went back. True story. Me too, buddy. Me too. What does BSND stand for? Does anyone know? I genuinely don't know what it stands for. If Xbox merge with Sega, ponies are gonna say two failed companies joining forces. I mean, Sega is not a failed company by any means. They're doing relatively well. Just because they came out of the console market does not mean that they are, you know, a failed company. I know what you mean, Susanna. I know what you mean. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about Xbox potentially buying Sega. On one hand, it gives them a massive foothold in Japan and expands their mobile presence, but on the other hand, will it be too much to handle? I mean, why would it be? Just buy them and leave them to do what they're already doing. Nothing changes. The only thing is, every game will be on Game Pass. That's it. As far as Sega are concerned, in this situation, this is how I would handle that. You would use the services of Sega, you would use the branding of Sega to move into the Far East, but just leave them be and let them do what they've been doing. Right? Mugzla, everyone does. Uh, it's still down. And I'll post this in the chat. Keep an eye on this. Once that turns red, then you're good. But there is a major outage, which means something has gone horribly wrong. Hey, look, take solace. It's not going to be as long as PlayStation Stars, which still isn't up after 25 days. At least we're hoping, anyway. Most Sega games go onto Game Pass already. Don't know if they need to merge. See, Alpha, the reason why they would want to merge isn't because of the games. The games going on to Game Pass is because of the deal they have with the Azure contract um, for Sega to use. But it's more for them to be able to utilize the Sega branding in the Far East. And as I was saying here, like in the West, it can be known as the Xbox, but in the Far East, they could release something like this and it would appeal more to them over there than the black box would. And this would probably sell a hell of a lot more. And then when you've got the games like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and all the games that actually were fun on the Dreamcast coming over, like the Power Stones and whatnot, it could be a really cool revival story arc for them. You know? Yeah, no one's just signing in at the moment. Rabbit, I don't know. But I would probably say, since it's a major outage, maybe another hour or two. Nike lost billions this week. How come? In the leaked emails during the FTC case, Phil Spencer was talking about a Dreamcast type Xbox. Yeah, because they've been wanting Sega for a while, right? That's no secret. These rumors that keep coming up about Sega and it just keeps rearing its head every so often, they're coming up for a reason, right? Especially this one. This one has been hinted at way too much to kind of be smokeless, fireless, right? There is something there. There are talks happening. Whether it's going to materialize is another matter, but the talks are definitely happening between the two. And if they can come to an agreement on how the companies are run, who has ownership over Sega in terms of, the final say, which I think they should. What Phil should do is leave them to their own devices, let them continue status quo, but give them access to the East. I think that'll work. If the Sega purchase doesn't go through, who should Xbox go after? Honestly, I don't really see anyone else of any value. Capcom is good, but I don't think they should go for Capcom. I think Capcom is fine staying multi-plat and releasing their games everywhere. The games that aren't coming over at the moment seem to be because of that whole MT network thing. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But everyone's blaming it on that. And if that is true, then it's not a Capcom problem, that's an Xbox problem. So that's something Xbox need to resolve. But Xbox hasn't really withheld. I mean, Capcom hasn't really withheld any major title, so I think they're okay with the way they are. Let's look at the evidence. Bethesda ZeniMax was looking to sell. Either they were indeed. They were not doing great financially, and they wanted to sell for stability. ABK had problems like Bobby Kotick and the threat of getting COD removed from Xbox completely. I don't think there was ever a threat to get COD removed, but Bobby Kotick did some really, really stupid things before the merger, you know, signed off. Hiring 7,000 people on the final year while the merger was in place. That was a really, really stupid thing to do. And then there was documents that already showed that he planned on getting rid of like 3,000 people. Yeah, and when the FTC actually presented the whole, oh look, Microsoft just laid off 1,900 people. Microsoft showed them the documents that these were already underway. Bobby Kotick had already planned for this to get rid of them. He overemployed to push out Modern Warfare 3. That was the whole point. Obviously, you had the whole Odyssey drama. I guess it wasn't good enough, and they shut it down. Shit happens. This is why people need to stop leaking games that aren't even in a place where you can actually show anything. Only reveal a game if there is actually tangible something to show, or it's a franchise that you know is not going to get canned. Odyssey was a bit stupid. How about what Clark Osborne suggests? Well, Warner Brothers was something that, Activision under Bobby Kotick wanted for a long time. Warner Brothers could definitely be one. I know they've also been in the market to be bought. I mean, even EA is in the market to be purchased, right? EA want to be purchased. They don't want the financial burden of dealing with the shareholders. But the way the guy, I forgot his name now, the CEO, He wants to retain 100% control over EA after the purchase, and no one is accepting that. 20% in one day. That's a lot of. That's a big drop. It does matter, Clark. It matters a lot. Because it might not matter to Satya and Phil, but it definitely matters to the shareholders. And they want more money. They don't care about Xbox. They don't care about the Azure servers. They don't give a shit about anything. All they care about is I'm investing 10,000. Am I getting my 500,000 back? If I'm not, then they ask questions. Why am I not getting my 500,000 back for a 10,000 investment? That's all they care about. So money is very important. I mean, Nvidia kind of took a really high, sharp turn, but to become a free tea company, but you know, it'll be interesting. Heard that Xbox tried to buy EA in 2017 but gave up. Yeah, because at the time, I can't remember the CEO's name, but the condition of Microsoft, anyone buying them, was that the CEO would remain as CEO and in charge and still keep his salary. And no one's going to accept that. All I want is a jet set radio on Game Pass. It's going to come. It's going to come. A Coca-Cola and our orders tank this summer looking scary. Really? I mean, I'm seeing a lot more people just buying the cheap Coke stuff because, at least here in the UK, it's expensive. Diablo, yeah, that's what he wants. So EA was about to be purchased, I think, in 2021, and it fell through because no one was willing to leave him in charge. It's a bit crazy. I think the combined purchase price for Sega and all Warner Brothers to be around half of what Microsoft paid for ABK. No, I don't know what Warner Brothers is worth, but Sega's worth like what 3 billion? Not much. So if you're saying Warner Brothers is worth 30 billion just for the games division and not the movie, then that's a lot. I don't. They will never push that through the regulators. Never going to happen. Not in a million years. Can you check in Xbox turn on? Can I have a look for you? It still shows major outage as of. Oh, they've identified the issue. As you can see here, we've identified the issue at 9:05. So they're working on the fix now. I told you, it won't be long. It won't be long. Uh, Me turn on the server? I don't work for Microsoft. Warner Brothers is worth about 18 billion today. So yeah. I made up an image in my mind after I asked the Arkham question of Batman taking off his mask, and it was you. He would fit well as Batman. How do you know I'm not? See, that's what you got to play in your mind, right? You haven't seen me and Batman in the same room at the same time, and until you do, you can never be sure that I'm not him. Andrew Wilson, that's his name. big as 3.6 billion. 20 billion would be Warner Brothers will be a hard sell, especially after ABK. Yeah, Taz, I showed it. It's not. This is the UK. Well, this is global, I guess. It's not working. Not right now. But they're almost there. It's the living of the Stone Age without Xbox. Hey, try living without internet for like a week. That's the Stone Age. That's when you test the true mental strength. No TV, no internet. Try living with that. But GeForce Now could be coming to Xbox, and this will be really interesting if it does. Obviously, right now you can pretty much play it through the browser, but if it gets a native app on the Xbox, this will clearly indicate the direction that Xbox is going in. At that point, I really feel like Microsoft will want to go into a partnership with Nvidia with GeForce Now, and I think it will almost cement my thoughts that the next console from Xbox is going to be Nvidia based. Rabbi, as far as I understand, they will still have exclusives. Stalker 2 will be exclusive until otherwise stated. The developer Microsoft's exclusivity deal with Stalker 2 was 3 months. It was a timed exclusive, but because of the amount of support, aid, and help that Microsoft gave uh, the Stalker 2 publisher, developers, and studios, they decided that they would make it an indefinite exclusive, and there was no plans to make a PS5 version at all. Now, if the developers, the studio, the publisher decides to go back on this, that's on them. Microsoft's exclusivity deal was for 3 months and 3 months only. It was always a timed exclusive, but it turned into a full on exclusive. So it's up to the studio and the publisher now. Why are you serious? I don't, because I don't use Facebook. Ha! And I don't use Instagram very much. Ha! Would you be able to play PC games now? I mean, I can. I do have the option, yeah. Whether you're asking if I can play Game Pass games online, that's a different question. That's totally different. That I don't know. Hey, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. Let me fix you. You've heard of Sillet Bang, right? Charlie, you've heard of Sillet Bang? Do you know how it goes? The whole Sillet Bang. One second, chat. One second. Charlie Brown. Oh, sorry. Charlie Dickface. Sorry, that's your name. Okay, I've got it. Charlie Dickface. There's a kid in my chat called Charlie Dickface. I'm not even joking. Look, it's right here. Charlie Dickface, right there. Charlie Dickface. You see it? Just laugh at him. There you go. And you're timed out for 24 hours. Bye bye, Charlie Dickface. I mean, that's an unforgettable name. Can you imagine your parents naming you? I mean, can you imagine your surname being Dickface? Man, that must have been really awkward at school. Charlie Dickface. Damn. Damn. Can you imagine? You go, hi, my name is Charlie Dickface. Can you imagine if he actually had like a face that looked like a dick too? I mean, he kind of is spelled idiot, right? uh, Stalker 2 is coming in September. It, at the moment, there's no PS5 version planned, Rabbi, for Stalker 2. Charlie Bellande. after getting those British terms up to speed, I like it. I like it. No, Xbox is not merging with Sega. I think there's a good chance that they will. And yes, his parents was drunk. Yo, knew a kid named Flame at school. Really? There was a kid. Uh, I think I had finished primary and I was in secondary school at the time. And you know the term breadwin that colored people say to each other, and the parents named them that. Unbelievable, crazy. Now, don't be upset about your old name before you changed it. What old name? Chaos Prime ZYT? Well, Chaos Prime Z was supposed to be Chaos Prime Zero YouTube, but that's been rebranded. But I actually might, seeing as there's a long story to go with that. I'm not going to get into it right now, especially after the bullshit I had to endure today with that channel. So I'm probably not going to jump into that today because there was a lot of problems uh, escalating with my other YouTube channel. So that's for another day. If we say that Xbox somehow acquires Epic Games and successfully get the deal approved, Xbox won't, and it will be blocked. 100% it will be blocked. And Xbox owns the top selling games. What would the outcome be? What would you be? What do you mean by owning the top three selling games? So it'd be Fortnite. It would be Call of Duty. What's the third one? Minecraft. I mean, it in terms of financial gain, they would own the market. They would own it. Illuminati, you said something. I personally think that if Xbox acquired Sega, it would bring Sony to its knees. What do you think? Yes and no. I think, I mean, Square Enix, for the most part, has really successfully had a couple of franchises. Dragon Quest isn't really owned by Square Enix. I think Bandai owns it, or someone else owns the part of that, so they can pull that out at any point that they want. Kingdom Hearts is partially owned by Disney, and they can pull out of that anytime they want. It's really only Final Fantasy that's the really big one there. So as long as the Final Fantasy brand continues to evolve and be successful, then yeah, that can cause them some discomfort. regardless of hey, look at Final Fantasy, it is still a much loved franchise, and it gets a lot of talk. So if they did acquire Square Enix, it would be a blow. I'm not sure if it would bring them to their knees, but it would definitely be a blow. But that's assuming Microsoft doesn't make their games multi-plat, right? At the moment, that's the only. At the moment, everything that they're doing is going to be multi-plat. By the way, your ghost popped up in a race on Forza Horizon 4. Did you get your free code? I did not. I did not. Probably because I didn't buy DLC. But I did play Forza Horizon 4. Maybe I should go buy a DLC so they can send me a free code. It's crazy. Forza Horizon 4 on PC right now, on Steam, is £10. And it's £50 on Xbox. Why don't they just reduce the price? I would have bought it. What would hurt Sony more? The acquisition of Square, Sega, or Capcom? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with. I think Square's really a one trick pony at the moment. They don't really have any major franchise that they fully own outside of Final Fantasy, so we'll push them aside for a little bit. I think Sega has a lot of franchises, a lot, that appeal to a wide spectrum of people. I think Sega would be the biggest blow. That if Microsoft bought Sega and made all their games exclusive, I think that would be a huge blow. Capcom's games are pretty niche. You've got the horror games with the Resident Evil. You've got the kind of Souls-like game, I guess, with Monster Hunter, because some of those fights are just painstakingly horrible fight. Kieran, I'm looking at you. Or Nagakuga. But again, their games are very kind of finite. They appeal to a certain specific, succinct kind of faction of people. I think Sega's one is so broad. It appeals to kids. It appeals to adults. They make they make games that with their Exceed brand. Is it Exceed? I think no Atlas, where they publish games from all regions. All of this matters. So I think Sega would be the biggest blow for them. That would be a much bigger blow than Square Enix. Put it that way. A worker at my apartment, his sister had a class in school and got paired up with a guy who couldn't speak Swedish or English. His name was Fak. Well, at least he lives up to it. Halo 7 isn't going to be here till probably 2026, 2027. I mean, it's being made in Unreal Engine, so that's going to speed things up for sure. So it's a good thing that Microsoft is actually moving to Unreal Engine, right? This is actually a good thing. I know a lot of people are saying, we're bored of Unreal Engine, blah 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 blah, yada yada. But the way Microsoft works as a business, as a company, working on a in-house kind of engine is actually extremely detrimental to getting games out on time. Usually, the handover for projects or onboarding, I should say, is about 3 to 6 months. That gives the people 1 year to work on a game before they have to leave as a contractor and not come back for 6 months. And so every time they employ someone for 18 months, 6 months of that is onboarding the new skills, the new techniques, the new tools, and everything else. It's a really horrible thing that they do. Uh, Live stream. I mean, when Halo 7 comes out, yeah, I will be streaming that. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Dragon Ball Z creator. Kingdom Hearts is Disney. Final Fantasy is perhaps Square's only major IP that it fully owns and controls. Yeah, Edward. That's why I'm thinking, as big, as cool as Square Enix is, they only have one major IP. You want something that's going to appeal to the masses. Sega is your guy. Can show now big news. Halo. I mean, there's no news for that other than a developer working on it, a veteran Halo developer, right? There's literally no news for that. What news was there for Halo 7? There's no release date, no trailer, no nothing, right? Come on, chair, don't thing. Is there anything? I mean, this is the only thing that we have. Halo 7 gets new lead designer. That's it. There's nothing else for this story, really. An ex veteran that worked on Halo is there. Unreal Engine 5.
It's the end of the month, which means it's time for another Halo 7 development update. Since I uploaded episode 2,
okay, there's literally nothing. It's just listing of jobs and stuff like that. There's been a lot of talk about, oh, this veteran is coming and that veteran's coming. I don't believe in veterans anymore. I just want to see the game and it come out in good form and for the game to be good. If they have that, then I'm happy. But until then, I'm gonna keep an open mind. Things to potentially have in mind if renaming Xbox in Japan. Black is the color of death in Japan, and X is the letter of death. Therefore, OG Xbox had a hard time in Japan. That is why they would turn it into something like this. Blue with Sega swell. They wouldn't have to worry about anything at that point, right? But chat, one thing that I was actually asking about in one of my videos is how GeForce Now would work on Xbox. Because we've seen the pictures where they've shown the integration for the current games that are available on Xbox. So my thought process is this: are they going to be able to? Are they doing it so you've got the option to play the xCloud version, which is the console version, and the GeForce Now version, which is the PC version, or are they going to give us the complete catalog of GeForce Now? That's the thing. At the moment, MLB fan, it's unknown. Microsoft can't make any moves at the moment until the FTC trial is over. But based on the information out there, I think by the end of the year, Microsoft is going to make a move and going to make an offer to Sega to merge with them. That's my thing. And the PS3 was black. And the PS4 was black. Do you get booted offline a lot by other players? Nah. I don't think I've ever been DDoSed on Xbox. I know people say that they have. I personally have never been DDoSed. They're still working on the issue, by the way. Xbox may just outage servers down. This is disturbing. Can't sign in and can't play any games you own. If Xbox servers down, you lose all your games. Pretty much, because you can't even save. You can't load your save file. If you can't load your profile, you can't do anything. This is the only problem with a digital future. Thanks to Bunny Lady from the first Descent slipped by Xbox, so they decided to shut down Xbox until she censored. $100, my dude. $100. MLB fan. Every game by Sega will be on Game Pass day one. Everything. Well, except for the ones that are PC only. But that's the Game Pass promise. Anything that is first party, and if it's owned by Microsoft, it will be first party. Anything that is first party will be on Game Pass. So all Sega games, Sonic, the lot, will be there if that was to materialize. But I'm kind of hopeful that GeForce Now is going to actually move, have a native app on Xbox. This could be huge. But if this happens, I think it will kind of cement the way Microsoft is moving forward. So it'll be interesting. This is going to be a key development, in my opinion, and will be a key indicator of where Microsoft is going with Xbox. So watch this space, I guess, but time will tell. Alcaton, yes, they are. But they've identified the problem and they are working to fix it. Is it $50? Yeah, it did seem like they were giving a lot more away with that skin, right? It did seem like they were giving a lot more away because of it was part of the Ultimate Bunny. So who knows? But you do have 85 days to consider buying it. And so Astro here says, friendly reminder that all suits except the one digital deluxe edition one were free like this one. But it's also a £70 game. This is a free-to-play game. You cannot compare the two. You can earn it in-game. Boom. There you go. That's what I was waiting for. And I thought that would be the case because most of the things you can earn in-game. So you can earn it in-game. So if you want to go and farm this outfit, you can do it. It might be a little more difficult, but apparently you can. And that's what I thought was, because the beta was exactly the same. But people comparing a full-price game to a free-to-play game doesn't make sense. So, these are the games coming to Xbox with Game Pass this month. So Neon White could be cool. I've seen a lot of good things about that. Also Brawl, if that's your sort of thing. The Case of the Golden Idol is a hard pass. I'm actually looking forward to this one, very much so. I've heard lots and lots of good things about Chille, so definitely one for you to check out if you are interested. Hard pass, hard pass. Journey to the Savage Planet could be fun. I think I've seen that before. That looks like kind of interesting, and that's probably going to be a hard pass for me as well. But a bit of a lighter one this month. I thought Chaos and Xbox would money have stuff like Sony, but if they do that with 3 trillion, Sony is screwed. Jacob, Jacob, it doesn't make sense why they're not, right? It doesn't make sense why they're not. They absolutely should be, and it irritates me that they're not, because I don't want them to do it to remove games from another platform. I want them to do it so Sony can see that if you continue to money hack games, we are going to go and money hack everything off you and leave you with nothing. So either play nice or accept the consequences. That's what I want Microsoft to do, but they just won't do it. And they should. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. We are how many subs am I away? We are 17 away from hitting 7,000. So from the 76, 80 people watching at the moment, if there's any of you that haven't subscribed, now would be a good time to do that. Now would be a really good time, as I'm hoping to hit 7,000 in this stream. Neon white is fire, so it's not like. It's weird. When Stadia was around, they acquired the Journey to the Savage Planet devs, and back then it was on Xbox Game Pass 2, but Stadia didn't get the game ever itself. That happens if the game was already pre-planned to be on another platform. Think of it like Deathloop. Microsoft acquired ZeniMax, but Deathloop went as an exclusive over to Sony. It was probably the same thing. That wouldn't surprise me. We still need to see Towerborn and the like, so that's going to come, and a few others. That wouldn't surprise me. Flintlock is another one that's supposed to arrive. We're definitely going to check that out. I was supposed to download the demo so we could try it out. Maybe I'll do that for Thursday, so we could check it out. So yeah, cool stuff. So what do you think of this? Sony plans include PC launcher, cross-buy. So basically, right? Let's break this down. Sony plans include PC Game Pass, Play Anywhere, partnership with Amazon, partnership with TVs, and pushing their service to more places. And I've not really seen anyone talking about this. Oh. I don't really see anyone talking about that, which is crazy. But if that is the case, that's crazy, right? They're basically saying the way to go is the Microsoft way, and we're just gonna eventually follow suit. I appreciate it. Oh, I think I actually got the notifications working properly. Except for this. This one isn't working. Let me see if I can fix this. The hell is this? No. 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 Uh, But yeah, lots of you know, they are going down a long, long way to follow in the footsteps of Microsoft. An MLB fan, I appreciate the follow. Same as Neil McCutcheon. Okay, so how do we do this? Boom. Alright, so then we go docs, custom, apply. I mean, that should have been the working one. Apply. Oh, maybe it'll work now once someone subscribes. See if that works for my feed, because my feed wasn't working. But I've got this at least, so I can check this out for the time being. All right. But yeah, they're basically following the footsteps of Microsoft. And that's crazy considering, I mean, there's a lot of backtrack at the moment with ponies. They are very, very like, no, it's not going to happen. Not in a million years. Honestly, they're gonna do exactly what Microsoft's doing, because here's the thing. And this is how I know that they're going to do it, right? Sony is not a limited company like Valve. They are a public limited company. So they have shareholders. And they are starting to push games out to PC and other platforms. This brings in more revenue, which means that shareholders' cut increase, which means shareholders make more money. Do you genuinely believe once you open that box that the shareholders are going to turn around and go, oh yeah, we really love PlayStation, so we're going to take a hit on our financial return? Does anyone in their right mind actually think that that's what a shareholder is going to say? Or do you think they're going to turn around and say, you know what you just did over there where you made us more money for our investment? Yeah, can we have more of that, please? Because we want more return. That's the problem, right? The moment you open up that door, you open Pandora's box, you're not going back. It doesn't go, it's over. Xbox be like, we are proud to announce GTA 6 is a. Dude, if they actually made GTA 6 a timed exclusive, Xbox will basically sell out. I don't think they will be able to keep up with demand. they will sell millions of consoles, tens of millions. I did. All they do is neigh and neigh and neigh and neigh and make weird sounds. I have a feeling that Sony having a dedicated app will fail. PC players won't use it, especially if they already have Steam. See, Ventura, I want to agree with you, but what I've noticed for the most part, I mean, with the PSN thing being the only big issue here, Sony usually get it easier. They get pushed, but they don't get as much pushback. They got pushback with the PSN, but they usually don't get as much flack. And I think that even Sony was surprised at how much of a, you know, rebuttal they got from this whole thing, if that's the correct term I'm thinking. Uh, it's not coming out in 2025. It's gonna get pushed to 2026. And if I was Microsoft right now, if I was Microsoft, I would turn around to Rockstar and say, look, how much do you want to push this game to 26 when we release the console? For Christmas. Give yourself the extra year to polish it up. Don't rush it. We want it looking the best on our console. How much do you want? If I was Microsoft, I would be asking that question in the background. Legit, I would be asking that and I would pay it. Because the moment they say, right, yes, this is how much money we want, and we will make it advanced so it looks amazing on the, let's say, the Series X2, I'll call it for hypothetical thing. There's no way that the PS5 Pro version is going to live up to it. So you're going to play it with like amazing looking graphics, 60 FPS, or the 30 FPS PS5 Pro. The console will fly off the shelves. They've got a really big opportunity here with both COD, with GTA 6, and with an amazing lineup of games that they can have ready for 2026 November, they've got a really good opportunity here to actually ignite a massive kickstart to their campaign with a new console in 2026. It's all a matter of whether they want to take it or not. Honestly, Edward, they could make it a month exclusive and everyone would rush out and buy an Xbox. Right? Everyone on PC that wants to play. I mean, PC has a huge community that plays GTA. They will rush out and buy the Xbox just to play it. Even if it is just for that one game, they will rush out and buy it. Because for a lot of the streamers, that's their bread and butter, and they have to be maintained. GTA is just that type of a game that will sell. Sanchez Gaming, because they can see that that's how you make money. Their exclusives aren't making them that much money. Right? That's it. And their MAUs aren't as great as Microsoft. Don't forget, if you got, I think Microsoft has now like what 400 million monthly active users. That's 400 million customers that are potential uh, cattle for microtransaction. Sony, on the other hand, have like what 150 million MAUs. 400 million is a hell of a lot more lucrative for microtransaction exploitation than 150 million. You've got more of a chance of getting people to spend money with 400 million than you do with 200 million. You know? That is just the way of it. Jesus, Jakob, why is that? But it doesn't seem to be going that great, right? Helldivers 2 has lost 90% of its players with no signs of recovery, and it's not even because of PSN. What do you think of that? I mean, Sony is always copying what Xbox does. That's no surprise. I'm sorry, there's a mosquito bite on my arm and it just itches. I can't help it. I've tried ignoring it, putting cream. Nothing really works. Uh, have to be thankful they do copy because we would never had Demon Souls and Dark Souls if Sony didn't. Maybe. I saw it, Jakob. That's crazy. That headline is ridiculous. I don't even know if I can show that online. That's a ridiculous headline. But yeah, Helldivers 2. Obviously, the PSN situation did not help. But what the what the actual team decided to go and do is crazy. They basically killed their own game. Demolish it. That's not even what they did. They pulled off of they literally pulled the bungee. So in Helldivers 2, there was this weapon. Everyone went to it. It was pretty much click that red button, everything dies. Right? That's what that weapon was. Push the red button, everything dead. You clear the map, game done. So the developers said, "Yeah, this is really unbalanced. So we're going to tweak it." So they murdered the weapon, and it's now trash. So the community then said, "Right, we're going to move over to the next best weapon." And so that weapon now became press the red button, everything dies. And the developers looked at that and said, "Yeah, that seems a bit overpowered. And so they said, we're going to tweak it. And so they murdered that. And so the developers, the players went over to the next best weapon. And in true fashion, yeah, we're going to tweak that. And then they murdered it. Finally, the players went over to, I think, the fourth weapon that came from the recent update that was actually usable and everyone was happy. And then the devs went, yeah, it's a little too powered, so they nerfed it. And so now people can't kill stuff in the game. The power fantasy is gone. The whole concept of this game was to have fun, massive explosions, power fantasy, and they took that away. Add to that, they've restricted the limited vehicles doesn't help. So they've basically kind of taken away what they made the game great. And well, now they can see about the consequences of their actions. Most of the complaints are that they are doing postal. Yeah, it's all nerfs, Susanna. It is all nerfs. Yeah, they pissed off a lot of people with nerfing. I was in a group who would skip missions like escort civs because it was unwinnable. Yeah. It's all down to Bungie balancing. Yeah, at least it's not as bad as what Destiny did. If you're a Titan or a Warlock, you're pretty much useless. The only class that's actually useful now is a Hunter. Edward, the PSN thing hit it, but it was fine. It was still getting 60, 70, 80, well over 100k players. Obviously not the prime, but 100,000 players is good, right? But we're talking drops down to like 20 and 15k now. It's not even in the top 10. Let me see, do I have it somewhere? I'm pretty sure I had it somewhere. I do have it somewhere, right? Let me go through my thing real quick. Yeah, here it is. I mean, if you're looking at this, right, this screenshot here, this is the PlayStation top, top 10. Where's Helldivers? They're not playing it. It's been nerfed. And PlayStation players aren't playing it when they were. I'll tell you what's the scarier thing about this list, right? COD, Fortnite, GTA, NBA 2K, Roblox, Madden, Minecraft, Elden Ring, Destiny 2. The only difference between the two consoles right now in games played is PlayStation 5 players are playing Valorant and Xbox players are playing Rainbow Six. That's crazy. That is the player engagement. That is what the majority of people are playing at the moment. On both consoles, they are playing the same games. Where is Sea of Thieves? Out at sea, looking for a new destination. You normally only keep what you keep for about 6 weeks. But I mean, obviously, if we look at Steam, you've got Elden Ring as well. Helldivers is still there for PC. You've got Destiny 2, Rocket League. You got a wide berth of different games. But Xbox and PlayStation, their players are playing the same games. right? Like that is really telling of what people are playing. And so when Microsoft look at these charts and Sony look at these charts, these are their money makers, right? Microtransaction, home to microtransaction, 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 no microtransaction, 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 microtransaction. So there is one game in this list from the 20 games, right? From the 20 games, well, I guess 21. If we remove the two Elden Rings, 19 of these out of 21 is microtransactions. Triple E, it's down. Let me see if there's any update on the web. It's still down, as you can see. Where is my thing? As you can see here, they've they now encountered a related issue. So they found the issue at 9 o'clock. At 9:53, they encountered a related issue. So something else has come up that's causing that problem. So they need to find a solution to that first. Concord is going to save the day. Xbox done messed up. All Microsoft accounts are useless right now. Can't play any games with them. They messed up now, and now we've got to wait for a solution. The solution is wait until they fix it. Clutch Z. It will be done. I mean, the alternative is having your account hacked every 5 minutes. There's always that. Wait, where's Spider-Man 2 on the Sony side? The Ventura, that left after 2 days. That's gone. I'm embarrassed to say, after spending 9 years on PS4, not including the cost of the console, I spent $10,000 just on games across 13 accounts, of which I gave all the way to local hospitals. I mean, that's still a good cause, right, Waynesworld? Pornhub is at position 0. That's pretty much the source position. They don't need to talk about Pornhub, they already know. And also, Pornhub has a new name now called Stellar Blade. Just an outage, relax, or go buy a PS. Base. If you don't know, where is it? 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 That's my son. He's trolling. That's my son. He's just being an ass. He's a PC player. Realmo v Sean? Yes, it is. That's the funny part. Hey, look, it is porn. But do you want to see real porn? Check out the Tower of Fantasy 4.2 trailer update. I can't show that. Put it this way, I actually can't show that on stream. I don't think I can get away with it. It's a 4.2 update that's coming to the game. I genuinely do not believe I can show that on stream. That's how bad it is. Dude, it's PC Master Race. The dude is playing Minecraft and Roblox all day. He's got an Xbox, a PlayStation 5. He's got access to Game Pass, to PlayStation Premium. He's got access to my wealth of Steam games. And he plays Minecraft and Roblox. And Valorant. I'll give him that. He plays Valorant too. He's really good at Valorant. But all they do is PC. See? There's the true reason why the Xbox Live service went down. It's the Series S. No way, really? Already? I'll have to check that out after the stream break. See what it is. Microsoft will no doubt hope to fix the issue quickly, as the Xbox network is sure to be flooded with users in the coming days for the 4th of July weekend. Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be fixed tonight. Make no mistake, it's going to be fixed tonight. I don't see it going till tomorrow. No. He has no better taste in games. Waifu games are the future. Nah, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix it. Don't you dare talk crap about. I didn't talk crap about Minecraft. It's really not an interesting game, but I'm not talking crap about it. It's just very boring. But I'm not talking crap about it. It's just literally blocks, and that's it. But I'm still not talking bad about it. I blame Gen Z, man. I blame Gen Z. But this list is really telling, right? This list is really telling. Because this list tells you why companies like Sony and Microsoft, they care for their first party games, but ultimately, all of these are live service outside of Elden Ring, right? Outside of Elden Ring, all of these are a live service game, and they bring in microtransactions. And so, based on this top 10, Microsoft is likely to make more money through microtransactions than Sony is. And that is why they want more people on PSN so they can track and monetize it and make money off that, make more money out of it. Because this is the new buzzword, MAUs. Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance has me hooked for damn near a month now. I won't rest until I 100% it before Visions of Magic. I really need to pick up that game. Ventura, go watch the trailer. It is 2 minutes long. Just go watch it right now and then come back and tell me what you think. Tower Fantasy 4.2 PV. Just go watch it and then come back, and I just want to see your first response. That's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it. Seriously. Do it. See? Devin knows how to do it. Oh, damn, Jakob. Steve just called Minecraft shit game. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't say it right. He said it. Don't come after me. He's the one that called it a shit game, not me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'd be interested in playing Minecraft if they gave me a HoloLens. That demonstration they showed back in 2000, I think it was, that was damn cool with the HoloLens. Xbox Live is still down. Unfortunately, it is still down. It should be up soon, though. They identified the problem and were fixing it, and then they encountered a related issue. So hopefully this related issue will be it and they resolve it. Where are we looking at now? See, Steve is doubling down. Steve is doubling down. So if you Starfield fans like myself, a new hotfix has been released for Starfield game focusing on creations. They've resolved an issue that could cause an unresponsive state when loading a save with removed creations, addressed an issue with opening the Microsoft Store after using Quick Resume, improved credits purchase flow when using the Steam Store, addressed a cosmetic issue with Creation Store buttons while using large font mode, and finally, Creation Kit resolved an issue with applying keywords to newly created folders. Hey, Devastator. How's it going? I couldn't get into Minecraft, but it is always in the top 5 every year across all 3 gaming platforms. But certain games will always be there, right? COD is going to be there, Fortnite's going to be there, Roblox is going to be there, Minecraft is going to be there, and I guess maybe eventually GTA will possibly be pushed out. But these 5 here are pretty much a staple. They will always be vying for that first place. It's crazy. But it's what's really striking is the fact that both player bases are playing the same games. That's really, really crazy. Like when it comes down to all these exclusives and shit like that, no one cares. They're just playing the games that they can play with their friends. But hey, this one's a good story. Hypercharge has sold over 100,000 copies in under a month since launching on Xbox. And of course, Generic Eric, which I'm sure some of you will have heard of him, and if you haven't, I envy you because I wish I hadn't either. He tried to compare a game, Hypercharge, made by 4 devs, I think it is, maybe 6, to Stellar Blade. He tried to compare the studio of Shift Up, Eve, which has hundreds of developers, I think it's like 200 developers, to a group of people who probably built this in their garage. 6 devs. It's like, where does that mental gymnastics come from? So yeah, 250 people compared to 6. But if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, you should do so. We are super close to hitting that new sweet 7,000 subs. We are at 6,984. It's so close, chat. We are so close. What the hell? Talking about Roblox, and now they're sponsoring me to play Roblox. Chat, we're gonna have to play Roblox. They're sponsoring me. Or shall we play Raid Shadow Legends? No, fuck that. Fuck that. How do you release a review of the first Descendant? You're not even going to finish the campaign. Yeah, Wayward, Hypercharge is really good. I don't think. I mean, I've seen her once or twice on Twitter, but I haven't seen her around for a bit. So I'm not sure if she's got something going or doing something as of late. At the end of the day, Susano, they made their development cost and then some, and they're making bank at the moment. They've been making profit for quite a while, and they are super happy. And I couldn't be happier for the team, man. You know, the dude managed to get it onto Xbox. The reception, 100,000 for an indie game, is really good. You know, they are obviously you got a PlayStation pony here, a 6-man studio, 100Ks, and he's saying that's bad. He couldn't sell a single copy if he wanted to. It's it's a really good story. Donna Doner and onion pizza. I've never tried that. I've never tried doner and onion pizza. That doesn't sound right. Now, what does sound right is lahmacun, which is Turkish pizza. I might get my wife to make it tomorrow. I miss it now. Now that you said pizza, Taz, I miss my Turkish pizza. I sent you DCG's first Descendant review. Actually, we can check that out. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am indeed Turkish. You can just tell from the way that R rolls out. Anyway, I am dark. I dark. I am Turkish. Yes, born in the UK, raised, but pretty much. I think I've been to Turkey a few times. Once, well, twice, I think, but mainly go to Northern Cyprus. Well, at least I used to on a yearly basis. Haven't been there in a few years. It's like 10 years. Had stuffed crust pizza earlier. What's with everyone talking? Oh my god! No, Steve. No, 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 no. What you need to do is go and try you know, a proper lahmacun, and then that Marmite pizza will be no more. Hey, nice to have another fellow Turk in here. Also, to be clear, I mean the game's design and gameplay is at a level in the AA space. It's really polished, Susano. When you say Turkish tea, you mean the one in like the cup, kind of like a golden brown color? Look, Marmite is disgusting. I think we can all agree. Oh god, what did Tess send me? What did Tess send me? What did Tess send me? Dude, that is nasty. That looks like your dog chewed on it. What the fuck are you sending me? It looks like your dog chewed it and then spat it out. I remember when you were wishing Ibayramlar on Twitter, and I thought there's no way he's Turkish. My Twitter probably did some weird autocorrect. Yeah, and I also said Babalar Günü olsun because it kind of, I think, fell on the same day this time round. But yeah, several flavorings were they used to sit with them all trying all sorts. Yeah, Marmite is old, dried up beer that's been in the sun all day, and it tastes disgusting. It does taste disgusting. Although my brother, he loves Marmite so much, he can actually eat it with a spoon from the jar. Fuck, that's bad. That's bad. But you know what's not bad, chat? Darkest Dungeon 2, which I've never played, is coming to Xbox. It's official. It'll be here July the 15th. You can pre-order it now and save 15%. Who's excited for Darkest Dungeon 2? Who's excited? Anyone in chat excited for this? See if I can get a video up. Date of birth. Is there a video? The fuck is this? Chat, what is this? This is Darkest Dungeon 2. Well, at least it's coming to Xbox. Who's excited? Anyone excited? Yeah, it's a little disappointing. Crazy Taxi! Sega confirms new Crazy Taxi is open world multiplayer game. How do you think this would work? Now, I saw a lot of people that actually disagreed with me, saying that they can see how this can work. Now, for those of you that have played Crazy Taxi before, let me get it up. Let me get Crazy Taxi up. Time to do Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi gameplay. They got rid of the Americana theme as well, which is highly disappointing. I'm going to mute this because there's probably some craziness going on with it. Let's share the tab. So this is the Crazy Taxi for PC. So for those of you that don't know, the premise of this is you drive about, pick someone up in select areas, you take them to the destination, you make money, and then you continue on to the next area to pick up more people. That's it. It's pretty much an arcade game through and through. It was a lot of fun in the day when we played it on the Dreamcast, and yeah, I've as an arcade single player game, it worked. How do you see this working in a multiplayer open world fashion? I mean, the whole concept of this is just to pick up people, take them to their destination, and make money. The more money you make, the higher up you go on the leaderboards. That's really all it was. Right? And it worked. The simplicity of the game worked. But how? I just don't see it. GTA roleplay server? Maybe. You can see it? Devastator, you say PvP? I mean, you don't ever get out of the car, right? So how is it like GTA? GTA is free roaming. Are we going to be able to free roam? Is that what they're going to do? Are they going to let us get out of the vehicle? I mean, it kind of was open world because you can travel anywhere anyway. But how is the multiplayer side of this? I don't know. It just feels weird. As someone who spent a long time and a lot of time playing these games. I just don't. I don't see how it's going to work. Nah, you just don't know my skills, mate. You don't know my skills. I don't show it on stream because if I showed my skills on stream, everyone's gonna want me to carry them. So if I play bad, then everyone else will just say no, we don't want him on our team, and then I'm free. Players compete for fairs, racing each other to said fairs, and whoever has the most money wins. I mean, I guess yeah, but you can do that through a leaderboard, right? That's what leaderboards are for. I don't know. I'm excited for it because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of this. Uh, if you're talking Die Hard, you're talking about it was called Dynamite Cop in the US. I think Dynamite Decker in Japan. Or was it Dynamite Cop in Europe? It had three names: Die Hard, Dynamite Cop, and Dynamite Decker, depending on the region you played it. And I really would love to see that game come back because that game was a lot of fun. My skills playing Kong were unparalleled. I'm still on the last level. I've just got to kill the final boss, and we are done. This sounds like a good thing, right? They did this with Pac-Man, Tetris, and how have you never seen a Die Hard film? How have you never seen a Die Hard film? No, I was talking about this. Let's go. So I think it was like in Japan it was called Dynamite Decker, and then I can't remember if it was in Europe it was called Dynamite Cop or in the US. In one of the regions it was called Dynamite Cop, and in the other one it was called Die Hard Arcade. But I would really like to for them to remake this. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. You know what? We're gonna do a poll on that one. We are. We're gonna do it. I've left this audio off because I'll get demonetized. I'll get demonetized, dude. So I left it off. Start a poll. Best Xmas movie. By the way, Steve, what is the best Christmas movie in your eyes? Okay, Violent Night. All right, the poll is up. Let's see. The best Christmas movie. It's no competition. One person voted. One person. Wait, mate. It's no competition. It's no competition. No way. Die Hard. Look, no. Die Hard is the Christmas movie. This was back in the days when QTEs were out. Let's go, and he missed. Sucker. Soon, my young Padawan. Soon. Soon. Really? One of you decided to unsubscribe? That is so mean. How could you do this to me? For that, I'll give you this story. Concord Dev confirms mandatory PSN requirement for a live service game that they said it's going to have live service. Live service is always going to be a thing. So if you're planning on playing Concord on PC, for whatever reason, I don't really know why you would want to play this game, but if you do play it, it's got a PSN requirement. It is down. Let me check if it's come back up. If there's been any update for it. They're still dealing with it. As of 10:23, they are still dealing with the problem. I'm heartbroken. My dreams ruined. I will live without Concord. I think everyone will live without Concord. Die Hard Vendetta on the GameCube was a fun game. Yeah, they need to go back to some of these really old games from like the GameCube, the Dreamcast, these and the PS2. Like I'd really love to see a Zone of the Enders remake. Like some of the old games were really fun. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that I know many of you didn't join me on Monday for the what is it? The Capcom presentation. But even the producer of the game said that it was a remake. He said this is more of a remake than a remaster, and they don't really understand why it's called a remaster because they've actually added quality of life features into it. They've remodeled stuff and everything else. They said it should be called a remake. So I'm going to take his word for it, and it's a remake. What was what? Jingle all the way? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. I've just demonetized myself. There's a difference between remaster and a remake. A remaster is taking what's already there and the textures that are already there and upscaling them or kind of redoing them slightly, whereas a remake is adding features, quality of life features, changing the way the game plays. And that's what they did with Dead Rising. It is not played the same way. There are quality of life features added to the game that make it easier to play in modern times. He is not wrong. He's the one. He's the producer of the game. It is not a one-to-one replication. I remember, Steve, you said if it's a one-to-one make, it is a remaster. It is not one-to-one. In the original, you can't walk and shoot at the same time. In this one, you can, and they've added a bunch of other features as well. So it is a remake, even though they're calling it a remaster, and it's only $50. It's really well priced, so I'm definitely going to pick it up. Dead Rising. Gurgling? No, I just went. See, remasters for PlayStation 5s only. I agree. Yeah, those. I mean, didn't that zombie, the way his face was all mangled and everything? That was crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's go! Devastator says it's a remake too, so it has to be. There you go. It's a remake. It's done. It's solved. It's finished. Conversation is done. How's the poll going for the best Xmas movie? How's it going? Was there ever any doubt? We've had 61 votes. I'll give it one more minute to see if we can push that Die Hard to a really nice 85 plus percent. So if you haven't voted, get voting. It's right there. We're going to turn it off in a minute. Yeah, that's at 84%. Just one more. We just need one more voter to get in there. There is 84 people in here. Come on, we can do it. Get your votes in. One more percent. Do we have it going once? Going twice? You can do it. Come on. Sounding like a bloody auctioneer right now. Oh god, don't get started with Hartman. I never want to see that guy again. Like ever. Power Stone, Dino Crisis, Eternal Champions, Panzer Dragoon. Oh, Panzer Dragoon Saga's amazing. Still got my copy of that. Shinobi Burning Rangers is. I'm surprised they haven't remade that. That is a game that they can definitely remake. It's such a game. Shining of the Holy Ark. I never played those series. Dragon Force. I never played either. Oh, Dark Savior, dude. Edward, did you actually play through Dark Savior? Do you remember that game? Do you remember Dark Savior at all? Like properly? There was a scene on the boat. There's a section on where you get to a boat and you have to die in order to progress because you have to go to the underworld. And either I missed the cue, they said you have to die. I don't think they told you. So I spent days on that area trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do because I just kept on going in an endless loop. And then at one point I just said, you know what, screw it, I cannot be bothered anymore. Just let it kill me. Clearly something must be wrong. And it killed me, and I went to the underworld, and the game continued. Fun fact: 85%, and we're ending the poll right there. Die Hard is clearly, by far, the one. Chris, of course, it's not confirmed, but they will cry anyway. Harry Potter is a great Christmas film. I mean, it could be, but it's not as good as you know, you know, it's not as good as Die Hard. Will Sonic Unleashed come to Xbox after? I mean, I suspect all their games will be free. Ah, Unleashed. That was the Wii game, right? That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. That is a really, really good question. But moving on to Nintendo news, they are saying that they're going to have no problems with scalpers because they're going to meet demand. They're going to have enough Switch 2s out there that demand will not be a problem. There will be enough on the store case shelves that there will be no problem in actually going and picking up a Switch. Do you think they're going to manage to do it? Hey, Grimscyph, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Cool beans, Ray. Cool beans. That poll is rigged. What do you mean it's rigged? I wasn't influencing people to vote Die Hard. They're hoping for another Switch and not another Wii U. I think the Switch 2 is going to be great. The Switch 2, based on reports, is supposed to be more powerful than the Series S once you enable DLSS. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. It is. But since we're on the news of Nintendo, has anyone seen this? I've been seeing this posted around for a little bit, and essentially it allows you to not only back up your Game Boy Advance cartridges, but you can actually plug it into your PC and through the emulator actually run the games natively from the cartridge without requiring a Game Boy Advance. Or you can just back up your saves because, you know, these things have a battery in them and they do die. Hey, Sav. Yeah, Xbox Live has been down for a little while now. It's still down, though. Hopefully it'll be back up soon. But yeah, this is a cool little device. For anyone interested? Don't worry, John. I will not tell Steve anything you said. I will also make sure that he never sees what you're saying. In fact, I'll make sure that no one sees what you're saying. It will just be a secret between you and me. One Punch Jedi? Looking on their website, that is not the case. But maybe their website isn't updated. It's possible their website isn't updated. It's still down. I probably should remove that before Steve tries to dox you. Alright, so I haven't actually. Earlier today, Alannah Pierce said something that was quite stupid, apparently. Now, obviously, people in my Discord and we had a little bit of a discussion, which got a little heated. I've not actually seen the clip, and I don't know if any of you have, but it was talking about something called situational disability. I've got the clip here that I thought we can check out. Now, up until today, I didn't even know the term situational disability was actually a thing, but apparently it is. I inquired at work today, and people said, yes, it's a thing. It's been a thing for a while, and they gave multiple examples of what constitutes to situational disability, which all sounded rather stupid to me. But apparently, it is a real term that is coined and used within the industry. But a lot of people are upset with what she said, especially in regards to children. All I've seen is what is written. I don't know what she actually said verbatim. I've not watched the clip, I just found it. So I figured, why not watch it together for those of you that haven't seen it? It's a few minutes. And after this, we will have one more slide before we jump into DCG's video and see where we go from there. But let's have have a see what she had to say, because I genuinely haven't seen it. So here we go.
The misunderstanding that people think disabled gamers, whoever else, want an easy mode. This is not the case. It's that the appeal of Elden Ring being really fucking hard is also appealing to people with disabilities. They too want to play the extremely hard game that is very hard for them to beat. They're not asking you to give them an easy mode and make it easy for them to get through. They're asking for a version of the game that can be played with their particular disabilities.
Actually, who was that guy? You know that round controller? The accessibility controller. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. The accessibility controller from Xbox. Xbox accessibility controller. I think it's called the adaptive. Is it the adaptive one? It might have been the PlayStation one. It's the round one. Was that PlayStation? It might have been PlayStation. No, yeah, it was. Let's go here. Open image in a new tab. So I've seen someone completing Elden Ring using these. So clearly it is possible to do it. So I don't know why she's saying that. These controllers are specifically designed for those people that do have disabilities, genuine disabilities. And, I've seen people completing Elden Ring, the base game, without much issue.
So they can still enjoy really hard games as well. The complications with this conversation arise, I think, with Elden Ring specifically. Like, yeah, there are so many people who just dismiss it as like, shut up, who cares about you, you're disabled, which, fuck off. Second, people just assuming they're asking for easy mode, and that's not the case. It's not an easy, it's not even less difficulty, it's more options. But third is the unique challenge with FromSoft games of completing them being such a point of pride. They intentionally make these games difficult. Like I already said, this is an established ethos of these games. They are intentionally very difficult. Elden Ring is the broadest, the most open. You can use summons if you want to. If you want it to be harder, you don't have to. You can approach it with as much or as little assistance as you want, and you have still completed the game. Controversial, I know, but yes, if you use summons, you've still finished the game. I don't care how you play it. Do whatever you want. But it's also just that whole culture.
That's an okay take, right? Play the game how you want. I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying if you play a mage class, an arcane class, and beat the game with magic, you're not really beating the game. I think that's a whole lot of bullshit. If it's in the game and the tools are there for you to use, it's fair game. You're not hacking the game, you're not exploiting the game, you're not cheating. If it's there, and why haven't I shared the tab? If it's if it's in the game for you to use, it's fair game. I will always say that.
Of beating a FromSoft game is such a point of pride for people. And how do you avoid taking away that point of pride? That is one-to-one with their design ethos. It is making you feel a sense of accomplishment for overcoming something very difficult. It's a feeling humans love. You get a sense of accomplishment. You feel like you did something of value. Humans love that. And Elden Ring's like that in video games on crack. Like, if I feel a sense of accomplishment every time I get an achievement because I collected 50 Huzawatsits, it is like triple when I beat a boss in a FromSoft game. There are bosses in Sekiro where I beat them and I like threw my hands up in the air and screamed. There are so few other games that have that effect. And that's a feeling that I do think everybody should be able to have catered to their own accessibility needs. Here's my pitch, okay? Hear me out, the internet. Here's my pitch for fixing the problems surrounding Elden Ring or FromSoft games in general being so, like just the discourse being so hotly contested. Like, I've been making fun of people this week for saying that if you played with someone, you didn't finish the game, that you cheated, even though it's a mechanic that's right there. It's literally.
If it's in the game, anyone saying that you cheated is stupid. If it's a mechanic, a function in the game, it's fair game. If you used it to complete the game, it is fair game. I'm sorry. Some of you may agree with that, may not agree with that. Fair enough. But if the feature is available in the game for you to use, and it's not like some cheat god mode, but using summons to help you out, that's a feature in the game. And if you beat it in that fashion, you still beat the game.
Intentionally that it would be like saying you didn't beat Shadow of the Erd Tree because you used the scatter tree fragments. It's nonsense. They're in the Miyazaki put them in the game. It's cool that we can adopt them or not adopt them based on how we want to experience the thing or the unique challenges that we have, because we're all fucking different people, right? Here's my pitch, okay, gamers? Hear me. I haven't had this conversation with anyone, so I don't know how many holes there are, but this is my thought. What if, for every game that you finish, but especially for FromSoft games, there were an ending title screen that you could screenshot and you could share very easily that details exactly how you finish the game? Are people going to reply to each other who share that and be toxic about it? Yeah, people.
Why would you want that? It's already toxic as it is. That's just going to create an even more toxic culture. That makes no sense. You've already got a toxic culture there where people are saying if you use this or you use a magic based class, you're trash, you don't complete it correctly, you didn't play it right. And so now you're asking people to double down on that. That doesn't compute with
People
me.
are gonna be like, oh, you use summons, you died, and beat you summons, and beat the game. Yeah, people are gonna be dicks. But I feel like it would maybe prevent some of the extra accessibility specific gatekeeping. Like all of these people who are vehemently against accessibility options, which is really, again, just in-game customization options. No one's asking for less or more damage, but like less button presses or there's a large list of things that can make it easier for disabled players to play a really hard game and still have it feel really hard.
No way! It's that. Chat, wait right there. Wait right there. It's right there. It's right there. It was right there. It's cooking. It's a cooking. Okay, so is it dead? It's dead, but I can't get it. But if it's dead, it's not moving. I'm happy. Close that window. It's a cooking. It's cooking. Oh, I'm saved. Well, it's a good thing we closed that window. I'm saved, chat. I'm saved. Another dive bombing parasite. Anyway, back to where we were.
But still be able to play it, you know? But what if you get just a screen at the end with the credits that shows exactly how you played it or what options you had on or off? In my head, this would alleviate a lot of that discourse. People are saying like no accessibility whatsoever because I want to be able to play Elden Ring the exact way that I want to be able to play it.
See, I don't care if people want to use a feature to make the game easier. Play the game the way you want. But what she's asking for to expose what you used is going to create a much more toxic environment. It's going to create a much more horrible situation than the way it currently is. I think the way Final Fantasy 16 did it, they actually have it in the top left-hand corner with little symbols of everything that you've got enabled in terms of accessibility assists. I think that's sufficient. You don't need something at the end like a certificate to show anything, right? I think that's going overboard, and I think that will create a much more toxic culture. But even what 16 did, I think, was a bit silly. Like, who gives a shit if someone is using accessibility options to make the game easier for them to enjoy? Or setting the game to story mode so the bosses, don't hit as hard, but they can still enjoy the game playing it at their own pace. Like, literally, what difference does it make to you? It's a single fucking player game, right? It's a single player game. What difference does it make to anyone? You know what, Steve? It was huge. It had big legs. Devastate, we're gonna check it out. I'll look at it after this. So I don't get that mentality. Like, if you beat it on with everything, no assist, no nothing, good for you. But if I want to play the game and I'm having a bad time and I'm not enjoying it, and you know, one of the reasons I'm not going to recommend that game to people is because of the difficulty. That studio is losing sales. How about adding options and letting people play the game the way they want to play it?
And I feel like those people are shooting themselves in the foot, because what if they get one of those temporary, situational, or short-term disabilities? You break your wrist, you're not going to be able to play Elden Ring. You have a kid, suddenly you can't play Elden Ring. Like, I feel like they say it when they don't have disabilities, but in 10 years when you do.
But is that what she said and everyone lost their fucking minds?
No accessibility whatsoever, because I want to be able to play Elden Ring the exact way that I want to be able to play it. And I feel like those people are shooting themselves in the foot, because what if they get one of those temporary, situational, or short-term disabilities? You break your wrist, you're not going to be able to play Elden Ring. You have a kid, suddenly you can't play Elden Ring. Like,
We'll check it out in a second, Devastator. But is that the part with the kid? Is that it? What she said? If you have a kid, you can't play Elden Ring. Well, newsflash: if you have a kid, you can't play. Half the time, you're probably not going to be playing many games in the first place. You're going to be too busy waking up every 2 hours to feed them, right? I've got 5 kids myself. Trust me, I know the difficulties there are in raising children. And each and every single one of them was no different. None of them slept through the night. All of them were a pain in the ass, but you do it because it's called parenting. I wouldn't call that situational disability. However, one thing I will add is that when I brought up this scenario at work today, they basically said, and this is the definition that they gave me: if something is distracting you or causing you any form of what's the word they used? Basically, taking away from what you would normally be doing, that would classify as situational disability, which I think is stupid. But the best example that they gave, which is the one I used in Discord, was you've got someone that there's 100 words that you need to type. Someone with 2 hands types it in 30 seconds. Someone holding a bag, a set of bags in one hand, so they've only got access to one hand for that period of, will take longer to type it. Situational disability. Now, I didn't know this term existed up until this point. Now, obviously, having children running around in the house is going to cause distractions, even if you're working. It's a thing. But I don't know why she put children in there. She could have said anything else, and no one would have cared. Literally, no one would have cared. Why would you mention a child? But no, I get that, sir. And honestly, I've played games where I'm on the final boss. The boss is down to 10% HP. My kids came in running around, jumped on me. I died. It's a thing. It happens. It's part of part of life. If you've got kids, you've got kids. They are unpredictable, spontaneous, and they will do weird shit at weird times. But I would not call that even though people at work classified that as, yes, a situational thing. I think it's just a thing that's stupid. But
I feel like
that
they
doesn't
say
make
it when they
sense.
don't have disabilities, but in 10 years, when you do have some kind of disability, I feel like you're going to retroactively kind of regret that you were like, absolutely not. Don't change anything. I finished Tunic. That game rules and is very hard. And after I finished it, I beat the final boss that you don't even have to, well, spoilers. She was so hard. She was so hard. It took me days. Tunic has an accessibility option in it that you can use to, it's basically God mode. I think you can prevent all damage. I beat the game without that and felt so accomplished and so proud of myself. And I don't care that that mode is there, or that option is there to help other people who still want to experience the game without that. I think that's perfectly fine. But I would have liked just a little something at the end, even an achievement, to give me the credit for doing the hardest fights on what is effectively the hardest in-game possible difficulty because I didn't have those accessibility options on. You know what I mean? That's my...
So here's my take on this, right? Here's my take with it. Removing the kid, because that just made no sense. And I do think it's been blown out of proportion from what she said. But this is my take on this, right? Which genuinely is stupid. What she's asking for is essentially elitist and toxic. And it creates an elitist and toxic environment because it enables her to say, ha ha, I'm better than you because I did it here and here's my proof. Like, it's a single player game. Why do you care? I mean, as someone who doesn't give a shit about trophies personally, I honestly wouldn't care about that, Serve. I think trophies and achievements are part of the whole toxic culture anyway. It's a manipulative way by developers to keep you in game for a longer period, to do stuff that is not only boring, mundane, and stupid, but just to, maintain playing hours for no reason. Oh, look, there's an achievement for killing 700 dregs. Let's go do that. And by the time you do it, you hate your life and wonder why you even bothered for a platinum trophy that doesn't even matter. So I think, but that, I don't like trophies. I don't like achievements. I think they are silly in their own right. The only thing that you should maybe get some form of recognition for is if you complete the game, regardless of how you complete it, you just get a little kind of icon that you can put on, like, I don't know, like where they had the PlayStation Home back in the day on the PS3, I think. You could have like a little bookcase there in your home where you could just stack the games you've completed. I think that would be sufficient. None of this stuff is a thing. I think it's useless. But, it's like modding the game. If you mod the game, your achievements deactivate. I think if you activate a god mode, that's fine. You shouldn't be able to uh, get certain things because that's cheating. That's not an accessibility option. That's called cheating. I don't know. If that was the clip that people were talking about, I think the child stuff has been blown out of proportion. But maybe there's something else. But I'm going to check out that video that Devastator sent because apparently it it basically contradicts everything she said. We have devs that work 7 to 8 years on these games, and people rush through them and beat them in 15 hours. I mean, I beat the Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail expansion in 3 days, although it did take me 50 hours almost in the 3 days, but it happens. We do it. We do it because we care and because we can. Not much to really say on this story, outside of the fact that Blu-ray mediums for storage is going away. Sony cuts 250 jobs because of the medium going away. No real story news there, though. No one cares if 250 people are being let go. They're gradually going to reduce the production of disc products, including Blu-ray, and in a later source that extends to PlayStation. So PlayStation, probably by PS7, like Matt Piscatella is saying here, will be digital only. PS6 could very well be, and I think it probably will be, the last physical medium console we actually have. I think from PS7 and the next Xbox that's going to come after the one we're getting next will probably be all digital. But that's just my opinion. Oh, god damn it. We're pretty much there with an all digital feature.
This one for sure. Guys, can we get some copium back? This
All
one
right.
for sure. Okay, this one for sure. Guys, can we get some copium in chat? I need some copium. This one is the one. For sure. Copium.
So what is this about?
Staring at the carnage, praying that the sun will never rise. Living another day in disguise. Forgive me for my crime. Use courage and stand up and fly. Oh, tonight.
She needs to stop singing because I'm going to get demonetized.
Look at all those copiums. Ow.
Xbox is still down, Melby. No, you need to stop singing because I'm going to get demonetized and I don't want to get demonetized because of this video. Not
Nice
because you're
one.
singing a licensed song.
Yes, queen. Ow. Did I not have any stamina or am I just bad at the game? Or wait, both are unanimous, I feel like. Because if you're... I'm not saying the people who don't check the stamina are bad at the game. But it's bad for me.
Blood loss.
I'm gonna heal. For good measure. Oh god! Oof.
That iframe dodge was pretty sweet. And that one. And that one. And this is on a dance map. This is insane.
Alrighty-o. Oh god. Nice! They don't dance pad malfunction. I don't see the duo either, maybe in some pics here and there. We're talking about stamina, you say? Stamina, Steve, how you doing? Moo! Nice dodge sequence at the end there. Yeah, that was really nice actually.
Is that it? Is that the video? Is that...
Chille will be able to claim a moment badge after Mika kills Melania. It's always a run, that's true. Very
Does she
bonky,
actually
everyone.
talk about Alannah's
trying.
situation, or
I'm
is
trying.
this just a video but with her defeating the thing?
Rest the feet. Rest the feet. Rest the feet. Everyone knows this is scheduled kill time.
But Devastator, this doesn't go contrary to what Alannah was saying.
I will try my best to kill her. Okay?
Now imagine your child running in around you while you're playing on that dance mat.
At it, yep.
While you're trying to push the kid, stop the kid from stepping on your dance mat, you're dead. So it creates that artificial difficulty. That's essentially what she was saying.
I thought you beat her when I went to get my water and my heart. Oh no, don't worry.
So this, in essence, actually goes on to support what Alannah was saying.
Honored
Devin, that is it.
It's not a good time, Yoshi. I think Yoshi's trying to throw it.
I thought it was funny. IGN ran with the article about tech team from Digital Foundry explaining why games run better on PS5 with less power. But yet the article says still better to play on Xbox. They actually said that the Xbox runs Unreal Engine 5 better than the PS5 because of the low-level computing. Well, with the
I was just back. Oh,
computing chips that they have, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's something that the PS5 doesn't have.
heal.
So the PS5 compensates for that and does it in a different way and uses different technology, so you don't get the true effect, the native effect like Xbox gets, but instead what you actually get is the PS5 working out those calculations at a higher rate, but you're not getting the native output. You're getting a kind of rasterized output, which is not the same. Whether that actually gives you a better performance at the time or not is dependent on the game. But the Xbox, when it comes to Unreal Engine 5, is just superior. And that's what Digital Foundry was saying.
Run.
Raw performance, the Xbox Series X is a better console for it. It's just better built for it. It's designed for it.
Stop it.
You should hear something.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I probably reduced the volume a bit too much because she was singing and I didn't want to get demonetized with her singing. So, but I mean, that kind of makes sense. But I think this actually goes to I mean, at the end of the day, if something was around her, that would have knocked her off balance or distracted her and would have made her die. If she had the option to pause the game when that distraction came along, it would alleviate that. That's what Alannah was saying. I don't know which game. I mean, most games generally, I think most, at least in year one, ran at a higher frame rate, albeit it was like a few. So Xbox always prioritized the resolution, the 4K resolution. So they always pushed for that higher resolution. Whereas Sony pushed for the lower resolution, upscaled it, and maintained a higher frame rate. That's generally how it went for about a year or so. And, you know, it's a choice. I personally would have preferred the slightly lower resolution with a higher frame rate, a more stable frame rate. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Especially when it's like 2 or 3 frames we're talking in difference. You know, the people that are trying to use that as a win for 2 frames, fuck, you don't even notice it. But anyway, I'm actually genuinely interested in this, so let's react to it and see what it's all about and see if we can record this. All right, so let's check this video out and see what they're saying, because this is his Descendant review. I'm actually interested because I've played the alpha and beta of this for a little, pretty much all of them except for the last one that got released because I was moving. Even though I did have access to it, I couldn't play it because I had no internet. But let's see what he has to say.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and this is Does It Suck? The show where we take a deep dive look at a new game and see what's good or bad about it. Today we're discussing the first Descendant. This is a new looter shooter that just dropped, and currently it is the biggest game on Steam, but the early impressions are very mixed. Some people are calling it pay to win, completely busted, or the best game ever, depending on who you ask. So let's
Great aiming,
break
though.
down the positives and the negatives and what I think about it thus far after playing about 6.5 hours of it. Now, first and foremost, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So, of course, since this game is completely free to play, I'm sure that stuff is going to change. I think this is a good start. I can't completely hate it because I paid $0 for it, but this is certainly the kind of game that focuses on the grind. If you've ever played something like Destiny or Warframe, these are the kind of games that try to get you to keep logging in, to keep leveling up.
I mean, that's literally their purpose. It is a multiplayer game and it is crossplay. I don't know if it's cross-save. I think it might be if you've got a Nexon account serve, but it is definitely crossplay. You can play with anyone you want, regardless of the platform you're on.
There are different styles of mission, there is different environments and 9 different territories to explore, but a lot of this just comes down to constantly trying to chase that next big upgrade.
I mean, that's literally what a looter shooter is. And Susano, to answer your question, the world itself is, well, during the betas and the alphas was quite barren. When you go to the destinations that you go to, you activate missions and they actually populate the area with the enemies. So it is mission based rather than think Destiny with patrol. It's not that sort of thing. There are a few enemies here and there, but it is essentially you go to a node, you activate it, you do the mission, and you move on.
So in the world of the first Descendant, there has been a 100-year-long war between these otherworldly creatures, the Vulgus and the Colossi. They're essentially interdimensional invaders that have come to Earth and started to completely wipe out everything. So we're trying to fight back and looking for some sort of secret weapon to finally push these people off of our plane of existence. Now, I'll be honest, the story in this is incredibly paper thin because it's kind of just an excuse to keep shooting stuff and to fight some rather big bosses. So this is an always online experience. It's the kind of game where there are hubs, there's social areas, but this actually brings me to the part of this that I enjoyed the most by far. There are 3 separate classes you can play as: a support, a tank, or sort of the damage dealer. I decided to be the damage dealer whose speciality is grenades. And when you drop into this, because it is a living, always online ecosystem, you keep just running into other players. The actual mission objectives we do are usually pretty simplistic. Either defend a point, kill a boss, or sometimes just trying to wipe out a particular amount of an enemy.
It does get more interesting and more complicated as you play through the game and get to the middle of the game and the latter part of the game. So that statement on its own is telling me that he didn't really even get to the middle of the game. I don't think. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what level he got to ultimately, because I don't even think he'd have hit level 20, which takes, I think, in my opinion, more than the 6 hours.
Sometimes you're planting a bomb, sometimes you're defusing a bomb. It's not really that deep. But
He's
what's cool
level
about
7
this
here.
is that sometimes these missions can be tough, and it's cool to have other people randomly back you up. Since the first Descendant is already blowing up on Steam and Xbox and PlayStation 5 and everywhere that it is, it seems like a lot of people are definitely giving it a test, and it does have full crossplay. It's kind of cool to see such a living world instantly. Like, I think it's kind of cool that when I'm failing in a mission, sometimes I'm getting completely overwhelmed, other people will just show up and help me kill stuff and actually win. I kind of like those games that make it feel like it really does have this vibe that we're actually trying to defend these points. It really feels like a living world, even if it is a bit cringy and cheesy at times. Now, let's talk microtransactions before anything else. Before we start to dive into all the leveling systems and stuff like that, yes, I do believe this game can be counted as pay to win. In the cash shop, you can purchase XP upgrades and all sorts of crafting materials and stuff. So since this game is something that does have a complete free-to-play model, you could just technically swipe your credit card and spend 20 or 60 bucks to stuff to get actually good looking skins, better costumes, and of course,
I mean, the skins and stuff is not pay to win, but the upgrades, fair. You know, the XP boosts, but you don't need them. You don't need them.
a big boost to your play experience. Now, in my 6.5 hours, I did not spend a penny on this, but I can definitely see that this is the kind of game that, because it is about that grind, the entire fun loop gets sped up if you're willing to play, and that is because while you're playing this, everything is based on power scaling. Some enemies have extra shield or defense or offense, and so there is a lot of different styles of equipment. There is just trinkets you can equip to get more health or more shield. There's weapons that all can be leveled up in crazy amounts of ways. So since this is just so incredibly grindy, there are like 10 separate ways that you are constantly progressing your character. Your individual guns actually have an XP bar. Mastery levels, which are like your passive stat bonuses, those can level up. There are individual mods that you can craft and customize and level up. So each individual skill on your character can also just get boosted, and even just raw stats. There's just straight up character levels beyond anything else, which are general power. So what this essentially means,
It's basically Warframe. If you've played Warframe, you'll know exactly what this is. I think Warframe goes a little more in depth because I've played Warframe, and based on my play of this up to level 20. So these that you can see here under the external components, you pick those up and essentially you just equip the best one you've found. That's it, really. They have base stats on them and upgraded stats, but you just equip the highest one and off you go. There's no real magic to this. It's essentially like armor. That's what your essentially armor sets are, because there's no specific armor that you get. The skin that you get is just the skin.
is that while you're playing this game, if you did choose to buy the microtransactions, I think you're going to have a lot more fun, which does kind of suck. Already, just even in my 6.5 hours, progressing through the first 2 of the 9 areas and beating some bosses and stuff,
So he didn't even finish the story, and he's making a review. Like, how can you actually write? You know, how can you make a review for a game you haven't even finished yet? You've done 2 of the 9 areas, so you're basically judging a game based on the intro missions.
definitely felt like if I was higher level and had more crafting materials, I would be shooting stuff a lot faster and definitely having more fun. So going against the Vulgust and the Colossi, these are like 2 very different styles of aliens. The Colossi are the mega boss encounters where you get to drop into like a little instant zone with other
This is the
players
first
and you have to
Descendant.
try and defeat them. Now, a lot of times they have different weak points. You can scan them to see the parts of their shield that can be popped off or parts of their body where they're the most susceptible to critical hits. Now, I'll be honest, I think this stuff is incredibly flashy and very, very cool. The entire combat in this, everything feels very tight. The aiming, the shooting, the special abilities feel great. And when you take these guys down, not only do you get a loot pinata, do you get tons and tons of gear for killing these bosses, but I just think they look great. They're just fun to actually kill, which is definitely the most important part.
Now, one other thing that he wouldn't have gained access to at that early stage of the game is augmented skills, which actually changed, you know, the dynamic of your gameplay. Like, for example, the tank class basically puts down a shield, right, that you can shoot through, but the enemies can't shoot you. If you get that augmented, you can actually roam around with it freely, and you know, though it's removing you from being able to shoot with 2 hands, you can actually become a mobile shield for your team. And all the other different classes have that augmented skill ability. I don't know how many augmented ways that you can change your skills, but that is something that's going to be huge for the rest of the game. And I cannot fathom that he even actually got to that point to be able to make an informed decision on the skills, the talents, and everything else. It just doesn't make sense. The first two areas are literally just the groundwork for the story. Of course, it's going to be paper thin. The beta on its own gave you access to 4 areas with 3 of the stories, right? So you could play the story for the first 3 areas, and it only got interesting, I think, by the time you got to the end of the 3rd area, or like halfway through the 3rd area, it got interesting. Also, with the different missions during the beta and the alpha, I haven't played this game yet. I'm going to be playing it tomorrow over at Twitch, so as long as I'm not passing out from being tired. But you can repeat missions until they actually drop the fragments you need to make the armor suits. So unless they've changed that, I'll find out tomorrow. That's how you actually farm the gear. So I genuinely don't know what this review is. It seems just another, I don't like this game because I don't want to invest time in it.
Now, thus far, the Vulgus have been more of the minion types. They're random units that are.
And I will add, if you're watching this in the future, because it's probably going to be in the future when I release this because of him making this video today, so I'm going to release it probably in a few days. I'm not going to be streaming on that Wednesday. I might be streaming the game, but I don't know.
Also sort of humanoids that are usually trained to shoot back or punch you in the face or cut you up with a sword. While exploring the map, there are the typical objectives I mentioned, which are like trying to take over bases or defend a status point or try and hacking a panel and stuff like that. And when you're doing that is when you're encountering a lot of the Vulgus, but there are special elite Vulgus that will also show up that sometimes you have to deal with. So each of the characters that we can play have different special abilities. Now, this guy, the damage dealer dude, his thing is grenades. I've got like gravity grenades that can pull in a bunch of people to weaken them. I can just throw normal explosive grenades, or I can also do this thing where my ultimate ability is this grenade launcher that sort of shoots tiny suns. And let me tell you, that thing really packs a punch. But I think what I do enjoy about this is that it is cool that there is just so many cooldowns, so much ammunition. You can equip 3 guns at a time, and maybe later on I'll be able to swap out my special abilities. I mean, I don't know. I've only played about 6 hours of it.
And that's the problem. You don't know. How are you writing making a review? At least make it an impression. This is not a review. Like, this is the base version of the character. You can get an ultimate version of this character, which has souped up skills, souped up abilities, and the cards that you can put on that you saw at the start of the video. It actually opens up a lot more points for you to be able to invest in. Think Warframe when you kind of reset and it opens up more points and kind of halves the points on the other thing. You're kind of halfway there if you think of it that way. And so when you like upgrade to the next tier of your character, it actually makes a big difference to not only the way you play, but to the overall experience. And none of that is shown here at all, or even spoken about. This looks like a pointless review.
Thus far, I've really enjoyed actually customizing my different styles of weapon, going from sniper rifles to a beam cannon, or just different styles of hand cannon, or just big heavy machine guns. I think that this does have a good amount of impact to it. Like, for a free-to-play game, at this point I can say that it's interesting. Like, if you're looking for a game that's going to occupy tons and tons of time, I think some people, this is going to be their main go-to grind. I guess the biggest detriment is that I think the world itself does feel kind of flat. I think the color palette is incredibly basic. I wish that we had some sort of general outfit that didn't look terrible.
My dude has only seen 2 areas and is saying that. And the fact that you can actually get, different versions of him, you can unlock different skins that you can, I think some of them you can actually unlock in game as well, or you can buy. But you can unlock upgraded versions of him which look drastically different. And he's going to turn around and say that I wish you could have that. I wish. When it's in the goddamn game. Don't buffer.
the fact that you have to spend microtransactions to look cool at all, like, I know that's the point, but it sucks that so much of this game is about spending money. Every costume, every cosmetic, every part of the battle pass, because yes, this has a microtransaction store and separately a battle pass. Like, games like this are so based around the monetization, and it's just
free to play. What did
accidentally
you
fun
expect?
in the process.
They're going to monetize the cosmetics. What did you want them to do? Monetize weapons?
I have enjoyed it, but it definitely also doesn't run very good. So this gameplay is on the PlayStation 5. I've had technical pop-ins, I've had frame rate dips everywhere, and I've heard the frame rate is incredibly bad on PC and also on Xbox. This game had like a 9-month-long beta. I'm not sure how the heck you have not managed to optimize.
I can tell you on PC, it runs flawless. I was watching Asda crossplay it today. I was watching a few others playing it on PC today. I can also tell you from experience that this game runs well on Xbox. It ran really well on the Series X, not the S. On the X, it ran really, really well during the betas. On the PS5, it did not run well. So the fact that he wanted to throw in PC and Xbox into this, he's just a liar.
This better after so many years of work, but I will say, first impressions, it's a fun game if you're bored and if you're broke. I only played this by myself, but even in just this random day of playing it, grinding it, and leveling up, I actually had more fun than I thought. It's cool to delve into the dungeons, which are like sort of based on the story itself, but you get to go through like little tiny crypts and tombs and underground mining excavation stuffs with other random players, using your grapple hook to try and traverse areas and double jumping across pits and stuff like that. The first Descendant is the kind of free-to-play game that, from the surface, it does seem pretty decent. Maybe it sucks once you get 10 hours into it, but you know what? I think I had an alright time with it. Will I keep playing? I don't know. I'll probably play this for like a week just for funsies until something actually good comes out. Because
he's looking forward to Concord, chat. Concord!
To me, free-to-play always has that big, just ominous cloud of, okay, are they going to break it? Are they going to invent new crafting systems later that completely invalidate my character? But these are just...
You mean like Destiny, right? That's a PlayStation-owned company now. Or Helldivers.
Just been some off-the-cuff thoughts, because it is a game that I've been curious about. It impressed me enough to warrant the install. But what do you guys think about the first Descendant?
I think this review was absolutely trash. I think it was pointless. I think this review is a disservice to the game, to the franchise. Well, not franchise, but to the actual game. I don't think it's given it a fair chance. And honestly, I genuinely believe that the only reason he put this out there is so he can be first. He's admitted that he's only covered 2 of the 9 maps. He has not even really ventured into the story and is, talking shit about the story. It's a free-to-play game. They have to monetize it somehow. I think everyone can at least agree on that part. Costumes and cosmetics are going to be monetized. That's fair. I think the other $100 skin is a bit much, but someone said it's $50, but even that's much. But we've already found out that you can actually unlock it in the game if you grind for it. So that's fine. You don't have to spend a dime. This game, I've already seen the roadmap from, the creators channel, which I can't show here, but it's pretty big. We've got new characters coming already that they're working on with new raid bosses. And there are raid bosses in this that you can go and actually challenge yourself at various difficulty levels as it goes along. This review told you nothing. Like, if anyone jumped into this, they would get a completely bad representation. And to make things worse, just because the PS5 version runs like shit, as he showed there, the PC version and the Xbox version don't. He tried to clump them in together just so he can show Xbox bad, PC bad, PlayStation bad. It's clearly a game issue and not a console issue. I think this is absolutely bonkers. This guy is mental. That's all I'm going to say. Mental. And this is a really bad review. I think this is one of the worst reviews I've ever seen. Well, that's that recording done. Yeah, this is a really bad review. If anyone's around tomorrow, I'm gonna be playing this, and I'm guessing Taz will probably join me. If you guys are playing, then more the merrier. We can go in 4 players. I'm gonna start it fresh probably tomorrow, or at least I might try and get the early part done. But yeah, this is I mean, I don't think I've seen this bad of a review for a game in a long, long time. This is awful. Look, don't get me wrong, the game isn't overly, I mean, I've played the beta up to level 25 times now, and, I'm kind of tired playing the beginning part over and over and over again, so it's going to be nice for me to actually see something new for a change. But if things haven't changed that much from what the beta was, 90% of this review was a lie, just for clicks. And that's sad, right? That is sad. This isn't a review. This is just an early impressions video. That's what it should be. An early impressions.
So, yes.
That's what it should be. And it's a little disappointing that he actually decided to go down that route. I think it's pretty sucky. But it's changed. Oh, even better then. But I just need to take a quick bio break. We'll come back. We're going to check out this video. Then if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, we will. And then I'm going to call it a day there. I'm still kind of trying to recover from my crazy 50-hour stream. But yeah, back in a minute. I just need a quick bio break. All right, we're back. Also wanted to say thank you to the new members. Got a couple memberships while off stream, which is weird, but I appreciate it. I don't remember the names off head. I'll remember them for the next stream. I will look them up for the next stream. But thank you very much. All right, let's go.
So, yes, I quit Elden Ring. If you guys saw that videos, the clips that I post, yes, I have quit Elden Ring, and in this video itself, I will tell you why. Okay, I will tell you why. It's really that bad. It's really like, man, I think the game is just not for me. I mean, if I'm just gonna make it simple and just conclude it in one word, the game is just not for me. And if you want me to say the game is a good game, I will say the game is a good game for like first 20 hours. And then the game just go boring and just bad. So if you guys gonna argue like if it's 2022, if you guys gonna like ask me, hey, what do you think is gonna be the game of the year? It's not gonna be Stray, no. It's not gonna be, I don't know, what was that during the time that came out that people probably talk about, but I don't really actually remember, because I remember it was the fight between God of War, Ragnarok, and Elden Ring. And I think I think God of War should have won and Elden Ring should have lost. It's like, holy shit! Why? It's so bad. Okay, let's just not just say it bad. Let's say why is it bad?
Okay, why is it bad? Because I don't like Elden Ring.
Why do you think it's bad?
I'm going to openly admit this. I don't like Elden Ring. It's not for me. I've played it. Spent about 3-4 hours in there. It's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I didn't have fun with it. My kids loved it. I love watching them play. I love watching them run away in a panicked and hysterical state while you've got a whole pack of enemies trying to murder them. But the difficulty spike just wasn't for me. That doesn't mean that it's a bad game. It just wasn't for me. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
So the first thing is, okay, you go into the game, the first 10 hours, it's fun. You know, you get your horse, you get your steed, you just run around, you're slashing people. I used the samurai build, I used the samurai class when I first picked. So I was like trying to make like Taki from Stellar Blade, you know, I was having fun and stuff. I'm having it, like I'm slashing people left and right. It's pretty fun, it's pretty cool. But then, like, you know, the game get very tedious, so you start to like, you know, explore stuff, explore places. You get in dungeons, okay, you get in dungeons, you clear the dungeons, you fight with the boss, you get through like each dungeon. They probably will have some sort of like a trap where they shoot 3 arrows out, or some dude just waiting to ambush you. Or like probably some weird fire pillar thing that's gonna come out and shoot some fire. Or I don't know, it's just repeating the same thing. You'll probably find almost the same kind of stuff in every catacomb, in every dungeon that you find. So it's just tedious and repetitive and just copy paste, and it's just boring, right? That's why I kind of understand why Dark Souls or Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, or even Demon Souls is a thing. That game could actually last for like, I think maybe a short 20 to 30 hours, or even like maybe let's just give it 50 hours, right? Like I think that's what people spend in Dark Souls and stuff. That is fine. That is the length of that type of game. Because in Elden Ring, everything is just copy paste. They just keep like doing the same kind of thing. Yeah, they do have like a land of like a crazy nice Limgrave, right? A nice green with some trees and stuff. And then they got this place where there's a lot of rotting shit and stuff like that. And then they got another place where there's like swamps and stuff. And got another place with snow and stuff.
What else do you want?
And got another place with like fire, volcano and stuff like that. But yet again, think about it properly. In each of these areas, they got almost the same thing. A weird building that's maybe like a magical tower or stuff like that. Or there is some sort of like garrison where it's the soldiers is around there. And you can kill the people in the garrison. And then it's like, it's the same shit again and again, just in a different type of terrain. Like, it's the...
How is that any different to any other game though? Like seriously, how is that any different to any other game?
Same, it's still copy paste. They just make one map, okay, let's make another map and let's just copy paste everything inside here, now here, the same dungeon, the same stuff. Maybe like this time we make it longer a little bit. Let's make it 3 floor, okay, and that's fine. The only moment that I have another whoa moment when we explore another world is when you get into the underground and then you see the skies and everything. It's so beautiful and stuff, right? That was the only great moment. But then when you go around and you explore again, it's the same shit. A same dungeon type of catacomb, a same type of like some buildings up, building up a nice castle, which is the ruins and stuff like that. And then it's just the same thing repeating itself again and again and again. So that's basically the game. So it's like, oh god, what is there to explore to begin with? Like, oh, it's about the exploring. Oh, that's Elden Ring. You know, you're taking a bad approach about this game. So it's an RPG game. It's a role play game that you role play yourself. So this is the thing when I get into the game features. Let me talk about the game features. So usually it's an RPG game with a lot of attributes and stuff. You can build your own characters, and I think, yeah, building your characters, that's the only unique place that, I mean, like unique thing that this game have. Like you can do like all the nice attribute for this, or you can put it up all into like strength or all into vigor or what's all, excuse me. So you can just like, you know, just do like your own build. But then the gameplay is still the same. No matter what you choose, dexterity, strength, intelligence, like a magician, which you're supposed to shoot from far. No matter what you choose, you still have to roll. It's a rolling simulator. You have to like, oh, that means I'm attacking you. You just roll, 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 rolling, 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 roll, 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 which also means meat in Chinese. But you know, you just roll around, roll around, roll around. You know, just and then just keep fighting.
I think the dude can't spell because roll is ROLL, not ROU.
And you just keep trying. All the bosses is the same. You keep rolling, you keep trying until you get one lucky match where you beat the boss. That's the game. So
isn't the whole concept of rolling, if you roll too much, you burn your stamina out and then you get fucked when you can't iframe dodge?
Because it was a role-playing game, right? It's role-play. You're gonna role-play something. So I was like, okay, since it's so free, you got like freedom, I want to be these overpowered characters, like very overpowered. Like I want to be like Cautious Hero. I will be like super overpowered, and then when I fight the boss, it's like a mosquito bite. I'm gonna do that. Like, is that a thing? Can I do that? Apparently no. It doesn't matter if you're level 20. It doesn't matter if you have the best armor in town. It doesn't matter if you're level 160. It doesn't matter if you have the weakest or the best armor in town. You still get 2 hits or 3 hit shot and you still die. In every bosses, the main bosses I'm talking about, you still die. You can't survive anything. No, you still die. You can't be that dude in like, I'm pretty sure even though if you're level 700, right? You can't be that dude that's just standing there and then like Margit just gonna attack you like, oh, it's like mosquito bite, or Melania is gonna like, oh, it's mosquito bite.
I mean, I've seen people take Millennia down in 3 hits. 3 hits. Phase 2. Was it phase 2? No, it's phase 1. 3 hits and it literally killed them. 100% health.
And you keep healing yourself and stuff like that. No, such thing is not possible. Like if you want to be like Kirito, like in Sword Art Online, it's not possible. There is nothing like that. Okay, it's just not. It's not roleplay anymore. It's forcing. It's forcing you to roll. It forces you to play a hard game, so-called hard, but it's actually no skill related, right? You just keep trying until you get one lucky match and somehow you just beat the boss. So that's my take on it. That's how I felt. So when I fight with the first boss, second boss, third boss, I did have that like, whoa, I did it.
No, Xbox Live is still down.
I think maybe until the fire dude, the fire thing that you need to use a spear to like poke the fire snake kind of thing. Until that part, probably I still have like, whoa. Then after that, during like a fire giant or like Malekith or even Melania, I did not have any excitement when I was fighting with them. No. I'm talking about after I beat them. No. No. There's no excitement at all. Like Malekith, I beat it and it's like, okay. Yeah, sure. I got him! Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die?
Literally had excitement.
I got him! Damn, I'm gonna go and play that song for myself. Okay? What was it again?
Bro said he didn't have excitement, and there you go.
I did it! Oh goddamn! But yet again, it's like it's more of like luck instead of skills.
Did he just do that?
I don't trust that was like my skill at all. Just keep trying until your skills is done, until your luck is there. It's just a gacha, you know. You just keep trying a gacha thing until you get your SSR. So that's my take on the game. It's really like, it's repetitive, it's just repeating itself. The whole map is just copy paste. The gameplay is repeating, like you just roll until you get like a normal match. I don't really enjoy it, and I think this is the last take that probably are gonna make sense. Like I think there's two type of game in the world, like for people who enjoy like a story driven type, or the people that enjoy like this lore based type of game, right? Like for me, I think I just enjoy the story driven type. Like God of War, you know, it's a story driven, you fight, and then you got this very cool cinematic experience thing that you can immerse yourself into. Meanwhile, in this, like Elden Ring, it's just lore based. You're just doing tedious thing all the time, and then just try to build your own story apparently. I don't know, I just don't think it's like a bit attractive for me. It's just look kind of boring. So I think like that's why it's the difference of that. I think I'm probably gonna enjoy Sekiro more as well, right? So this is an example I'm gonna give you guys, right? I think I'm gonna enjoy Sekiro more, or even Stellar Blade, because Stellar Blade is my most favorite game right now. I like
we did not stage
like
1X.
Sekiro, where you can like I think it's a story-driven base as well, because from what I see from gameplay. So I go and watch Asmongold, like the huge content creator Asmongold dude. I watched his gameplay for Sekiro, and I saw him rage quitting the game. And I was like, I understand why, because I think that's the game is not for, that's not for him. And it's not just, this is the point where I'm trying to make that it's not because like skill issue that everybody would like to talk about. It's not really that, it's just that we don't enjoy the game that we play. For example, as Mongo didn't enjoy Sekiro, didn't enjoy the parry thing, and he just sucked at it, right? He sucked at it, he didn't enjoy it, he hated it, and that's why he quit at the
Asmongold went back. He said he wanted to take a break. He went back after his break, and he pretty much beat almost everything there is in the game. Lies.
Yeah, and like, you know, but for me, like, I don't like the tedious thing in Elden Ring, and but for Asmongold, he did play the whole Elden Ring, right? Or like, I don't know, like, I just feel like, but yet again, he didn't beat Stellar Blade, he didn't beat Sekiro. I think that's not the type of game that he likes. So it's the same thing as like, I don't think Dark Souls is the type of game that I will like, because it's not story driven, first thing, it's lore based. And I think the system as well, the game system, the rolling one, it's kind of boring, man. Like, seriously. You just roll, that's it. I really love Stellar Blade, where you can parry like boom, boom, and then when you did a no damage run or a no damage kill, it felt good, right? It felt so good. it's just great. But somehow, if I ever do like a no damage roll in in Elden Ring, could be
and
like,
you roll in Sekiro?
Okay, I got that lucky match then, because I can do the whole roll again and again and again, and probably will get one match that's gonna overroll, right?
Yes,
so it's just like, oh man, it's just I think it's just audience. So that's why I don't think, like, the thing is, like, I think about this a lot. what does the Japanese people think about Elden Ring, right? Because I think I'm very close to like Asian mindset on video games and stuff as well. And when you talk about Elden Ring, I don't really see that much Elden Ring content creators that is Japanese out there. I'm talking about the gamers one. Like I see them doing a lot of like Final Fantasy stuff.
What is
or
he
like,
even saying at this point?
Paranormal. If you guys don't understand, you guys never heard of it. It's like a horror games, but it's not horror. It's like more of like a visual, like a novel visual type games and stuff like that. Or even like
Girls, do you think Astrobot will be going to Nintendo Switch successor instead of the Switch? Yeah, it won't be on the Switch. It'll be on the Switch 2. I think it will go to the Switch 2. When it goes over to PC, it's going to go over to the Switch 2. But if Lego Horizon does really well, it will go over to the Switch 2 a lot faster.
what is that? Dragon Quest, you know, stuff like that. Not
You and me
not
both.
Elden Ring. Not Elden Ring.
I don't actually understand what he's saying at this point. He's just going round in circles, basically saying Elden Ring is not for me. And that's an okay statement. Why do you have to continue to
I
continue
think
for the
Elden
sake
Ring
of
is
continue?
made for like Western enjoyer or Western gamers or something, because in a way that I think the big content creator that I know, like PewDiePie or like Asmongo or like a lot of them, right? They enjoy Elden they enjoy Elden Ring. They say like Elden Ring is so good and stuff. So that's why I like, you know, like, okay, since so many people like it, so many big content creators like it, it should be good. I tried it myself, it was not. It was not really, it's not good. I think in order to spend that, I probably should.
Guys,
really,
you okay if I stop this?
Not play.
Because he's just chatting shit at this point, and it's actually making me drowsy. He's literally going around talking a whole bunch of shit without saying anything. What an idiot. Ugh, that was an interesting video, to say the least. God, I thought that review was bad. This is worse. I did have one more question I wanted to ask you guys before I left, before I end the day. And that is this. With the look of Elden Ring, you know, Shadows of Erdtree is a massive DLC, right? It's massive. It's $40-$50. It's huge. It's bigger than the base game from what I've heard. Then you got expansions like Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, which just for the campaign is around 40 to 50 hours long. Do you feel that these games, which add new areas, new content, new story, new jobs, new characters, essentially just a new game, should be classified for Game of the Year? Should they be included? Like in Final Fantasy XIV's case, for example, you know, Tural we've never experienced. You've got 6 new areas, a whole story, new cast. You've got new big bad, everything, new jobs to play. Essentially, a new game. Tack them to it. And I'm guessing Shadows of Erdtree is roughly the same. Once you go through wherever you need to go through with, after you've beaten Mog, you go and access the DLC area, which is different to that of the base game. So do you think that they should be should they be allowed to be classified in Game of the Year? Because I see this topic going on a lot lately, and I'm curious. Hey, Timmy. Steve, I feel the same way about Gears. They're just not good enough. Hey, Devin, thank you very much for that one gifted membership. Green Goblin. Steve working out where I live right now. I think like $10 for premium. Elden Ring got Game of the Year, but that's for the base game. I'm talking about the DLC. It's ready for a fall. But yeah, do you think it should? Do you think if the DLC, the expansion or update is big enough that it should warrant it to be classified? See, that's what I said, Devastator. That's exactly what I said. They should have an expansion of the year. That's what I said, and I think that's probably the best way about it. But what makes when you've got something that's basically so vastly different, at what point does it stop being a DLC? I don't know. I'm not saying Shadows of Erdtree. I'm just using that and 14 as an example because their content is quite big, right? You've got new areas, new bosses, new everything. It's like a whole new area that you access in Erdtree, and obviously in 14 it's a whole new map area that you access with multiple different zones, dungeons, primals, everything. So I use those two as an example because they basically are their own contained game, you could say, that's tacked onto an ever evolving game. Oh, there would be a lot of Salt Devastator. But as you can see, Xbox has lost a lot of customers today. Really? People not very happy. Someone died waiting to play Elden Ring. Just want to play Minecraft. Losing out on quality time with e-girls. $1 billion company can't figure out how to make servers work again. Posted 6 minutes old and almost 2K replies. I guess people are really upset. Maybe the success of the first Descendant took it down. Or maybe there was something in First Descendant that triggered something really bad. I actually don't know. I agree, Steve. I agree. And as you can see here, there's still no real change. It's taking longer than anticipated. They didn't. People are saying that they're going to lose customers because they can't play a video game. Well, chat, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before I head off into the sunset? I've enjoyed the stream. It's been good fun. I managed to pull through to finish everything I wanted to talk about. Hopefully next week. Well, Thursday we'll have more to talk about. Tomorrow I'm going to be here, hopefully playing some First Descendant. See how that goes. But yeah. I just tried Blue Dragon 7, 8, 9, Lost Odyssey, Infinite Undiscovery. I really need to play Infinite Undiscovery. I do have it on my Xbox. I do need to play it. I've got it on my Steam Deck as well, actually. I've still been able to play Rocket League all night, then benefit of not locking yourself to a single platform. Yep. I think going after realistic graphics is probably not the way forward. I think they need to tame it down a little so they can get the performance right. I think the push for more graphics is what's hurting video games. I think they need to tame it down a little so they can get the production cycles out sooner. And that way people can get games faster. I can remember when Sony servers were for quite a few days years ago. Yeah. I mean, PSN was down for 24 days for PlayStation. I think people just accepted it with PSN, but for Xbox, it's end of the world. Okay. Then chat, that is going to be it for today. Hopefully I'll see some of you over at Twitch tomorrow. And hopefully this Xbox situation will be resolved so we can do some stuff tomorrow. But that said, I am going to call it a night. I saw that Devastator, but it's midnight here, so I'm getting tired. I'll leave that for Thursday. Stars has been broken for 25 days now. It's eclipsed the PSN outage. That's why people were talking about it today. It actually eclipsed it. My Xbox account working again? Chat, do you think it's telling the truth? Do you think it's telling the truth? One last refresh before I go. I think my internet might have... No, it's still going. One last refresh. Oh, maybe the Xbox Live status is completely dead now. Oh no! It looks like the whole of the network is going to the shitter. Nope. It looks like it's really, really, really bad. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It loaded. It's taking longer than anticipated. And with that said, I'm out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the memberships. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, folks. And remain legend. Have a good night. Bye. Happy for you, Mysterious. Just don't say it in chat too much because there'll be a lot of people that will be wanting your the ability that you have to play. Peace out, folks. Thanks for hanging out. I really should have shown you guys that trailer, right? I really should have shown you guys that trailer. The 4.2 trailer, just so you can see just how mental it is. Maybe Thursday. I'm everywhere. Autobots, roll out. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.